Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came Chapter 1. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came. Introduction. Baifeng signed in Naruto World for 3 years and reached the 6th level, just when he thought he could finally be salted fish, kick the Dance King, and punch Kaguya. Ding, you have been selected and invited by the Tian Tian Dimension chat group, do you want to join? No, I'm already at level 6, so I just came to the chat group. The beautiful monster princess, although I lost a good chicken, the monster girl is really good. Daegu is not Daegu, as a partner of justice, it is our duty to maintain the peace of the universe. I'm your father, Kulala, I'll show you a hand-torn black beard to cheer you up. Baifeng, this chat group is a bit indecent. Chapter 1 Chat Group of the Heavens Dimension. On the border of the Land of Fire, in a dark tunnel, a middle-aged man wearing a rebellious head is running towards the front quickly, with a terrified expression, as if there is some terrifying existence chasing him behind him. Looking at the exit that was getting closer and closer, the eyes of the middle-aged man revealed a ray of hope. As long as he can go out, he still has a chance to live. Finally, the man rushed out of the cave, and stuck all the detonating symbols on his body to the exit in one breath to detonate. The sound of rumbling explosions was endless, and the man looked at the sealed hole with a frenzied expression, standing where he was and laughing loudly. Ha ha ha, what kind of umbu, who claims to have completed the mission 100%, is it because I escaped? Oh, is it so? Suddenly, a voice sounded behind him, the middle-aged man's expression became ruthless, chakra surged in his throat, and he turned around suddenly, fire escape. How long fire art? Violent flames erupted, making the surrounding air hot. Just the next second, the fire dragon dissipated, the eyes of the middle-aged traitor gradually dimmed, and his body fell to the ground. After the man fell down, what appeared in place was Konoha Anbi wearing a fox mask. Umbu took off the mask, and an extremely handsome face appeared. Looking at the ninja world, no one can compare with it. The only one who can be compared with him is the legendary reader Yenzu. Baifeng looked at the corpse on the ground, and said to himself, System, start signing in. Ding, the special check-in task has been completed, start the special check-in, congratulations, you have obtained the White Eye Purity upgrade, your White Eye Purity is full, and you will automatically upgrade to Tensiken. His name is Baifeng, he is a time traveler, and he has traveled to this world of Naruto for 16 years. Goldfinger is the sign-in system, which was awakened when he was 13 years old. Relying on the sign-in system, he has changed from an ordinary Chunin to a 6-path powerhouse in 3 years. Looking at the rewards he got for signing in, Baifeng nodded, the special signing in was indeed impressive, and it was not in vain for him to go find the 3rd generation to take up the task of chasing and killing traitorous ninja. System, check personal information. Host, White Knight. Strength, 6 levels. Talent, Reincarnation Eye, Tensei Eye, Eternal Kaleidoscope Sharingan, all attributes Chakra Affinity, Yin-Yang Escape, God of Illusion. Skills, Golden Will Reincarnation Explosion, Will Tomb Border Prison, Susano, Kamui, Shenluo Tianzheng, Huangquan Biliang Saka, Wood Done. Really thousands of hands. Looking at this luxurious panel, Baifeng nodded in satisfaction. With his current strength, pushing the ninja world horizontally, wouldn't it be easy? Except for the old Inbi 6 Paths sage hiding somewhere in the ninja world and the Otsutsuki clan in the starry sky, he is already invincible. Crouching down, Baifeng skillfully sealed the body of the traitor into the scroll, and was just about to go back. At this moment, a voice sounded from his mind. Ding, the dimensional chat group sincerely invites you to join. Here, you can see a wider world, meet more powerful people, and go to more worlds. Action is worse than heartbeat. What are you waiting for? Click now, click the join button, choose to join the chat group, and travel the world with me. The style of painting is so familiar. Could it be that my great China has already entered the advertisement into the heavens and myriad worlds? Ding, welcome to the punch card master to join the chat group. Ding, welcome to join the chat group as I am your father. Ding, welcome Daegu is not Daegu to join the chat group. Ding, welcome to the monster princess of Jura Great Forest to join the chat group. Ding, welcome the weak and helpless spider to join the chat group. Entering the chat group, looking at the familiar chat interface, the familiar operation panel is exactly the same as the one in memory. Sure enough, Boss Ma is the mastermind behind the chat group of the heavens and myriad realms. The eternal 17-year-old girl, ah la la, a newcomer is here, and the group leader has come out to pick up the guests. The richest model worker in the world, welcome newcomers. I am the most handsome member of the group, Stark. Of course, I prefer you to call me the handsome richest man. Walking birds under the moon, handsome Mr. Richest Man, picture JPG. Group pet leader, handsome Mr. Richest Man, picture JPG. The big villain with hairspray, handsome Mr. Richest Man, picture JPG. Forever 17-year-old girl, handsome Mr. Richest Man, picture JPG. Sure enough, the essence of human beings is a repeater. In New York City, our handsome richest man is looking at himself in the picture, being rubbed by a Hulk wearing only big pants. My mood now is worse than just being spit on by an alpaca. Damn it, the key is that he was seen by the newcomer. This time, not all of his fame in the first life will be ruined. Check-in master, hiss, is this something I can watch without saving money? Isn't that bad? Seeing this scene, Stark's face darkened, and what he had been worried about for a long time still came. Stark, the model worker of myriad worlds, damn kid, what qualifications do you have to say about me for walking a bird this month? JPG. The group pet group leader withdrew a group message, guess what it is? Group favorite group leader, ahem, pay attention to the influence, our richest man, and there are newcomers. Check-in master, please don't care about our existence, please continue. At this time, on a planet that is 90% similar to the Earth, in a certain villa, a girl about 17 years old is staring at the chat group panel in front of her. She is a time traveler named Li Xiaoxi. At this time, the girl was muttering, well, the 5 newcomers should be Lilam, Spider, Tiga, and Whitebeard. As he spoke, he couldn't help but feel discouraged when he looked at this person named Master Punch Card. This has no characteristics at all, so she can't guess it, but looking at the sand sculpture temperament coming from the chat group, she can't help but fall into deep thought, it's such a familiar style. I'm your father, Kololala, it's really interesting. Is this a new devil fruit ability? However, if you dare to provoke me, Whitebeard, are you ready to go to war? In the world of pirates, on the Moby deck, the man known as the strongest man in the world, Whitebeard, one of the 4 emperors, is looking serious at this moment. The big knife in his hand fell heavily on the ground, his whole body exploded with arrogance, and his domineering aura surged between the heaven and the earth. In an instant, the sea water surged, and the white clouds above the sky were shaken away. This momentum naturally alarmed the members under his command, and Marco, who was having a banquet, ran to Whitebeard's side with a serious face. Father, what's the matter? Whitebeard pointed to the chat group panel in front of him. Marco, can you see this thing in front of me? At this time, the others also gathered around one after another, chattering when they heard Whitebeard's question. No, father. Dad, I didn't see anything. It seems that only he can see this thing, and Whitebeard shook his head. Forget it, little ones, continue with the banquet. Oh. Father is mighty. After his sons had left, Whitebeard sat down again and asked in the group. I am your father, who are you and what is this? Group pet leader, this is a chat group that connects the heavens and the world. We are all people from different worlds. Group favorite group leader, well, there are also newcomers to the group, Mr. Daegu, Mr. Lilam. Miss Baiji, please come out too. Chapter 2. Your friend has left the live broadcast room. At this time, in the Jura Great Forest, Li Molu was sitting on Lanya's back, turning into an exclamation point for a while, and a question for a while. It vividly shows us what is meant by light body and soft posture. Of course, as a slime, there is also a lot of water. Lanya under him silently watched this scene, lamenting that Master Limulu has become more and more perverted, and now he can pose in the air. The monster princess of Jura Great Forest, how do you know my name? The weak, pitiful and helpless spider, whoa, I almost forgot that I am a human being. The spider looked at the poisonous frog that had just been hunted in front of him. It was a pain. I thought she was just a house girl, who would have thought that she would time travel inexplicably. The point is, as soon as she was reincarnated, she saw the scene of mother's kindness and son's filial piety. Her spider mother vividly interprets what is meant by the sword in the loving mother's hand, and the wanderer's body chops. Seeing my brothers and sisters after turning around and being born were eaten one by the spider mother, the spider had no choice but to eat a big one with tears in his eyes. After that, it was the miserable life of the spider. Daegu is not Daegu. It seems that what the group leader said is true. Group pet leader, by the way, you can also upload film and television works that match everyone here, you can take a look. The group favorites uploaded One Piece, Ultraman Tiga, so what about reincarnation as a spider, about my reincarnation as a slime? The leader of the group pet group, could you tell me about your characteristics, Master Punch Card, so that I can upload works about you? Check-in Master, I'm a ninja with no emotions, the kind who can spray water. The richest model worker in the world, you spray water, is it serious or not? I am your father, you spray water, is it serious? Walking the bird under the moon, you spray water, is it serious or not? Check-in Master, wow, soon, 2 tire marks appeared on my face, I said, young group members, don't talk about martial arts, bully me, a Xiamengson who just joined the chat group, that's good. Well, that's not good. Well, I was just a little skeptical just now, but now it seems that this is a fellow countryman. Li Xiaoxi has already confirmed that this guy is a time traveler like himself. Look at this beautiful language art. Group pet leader, odds change and evens remain the same. Punch Master, symbols look at the quadrant. Group favorite group leader, my fellow. Check-in Master, family. Bai Feng, wait a minute, you're just playing around. Just as Bai Feng and Li Xiaoxi were having a sad marriage recognition ceremony, the voice of the chat group rang out. Dimensional chat group members reached 10 people, unlock group live broadcast function, group task function, group traversal function, group battle function, red envelope function, group live broadcast function, and name change function. Seeing this, the first thing Bai Feng noticed was the group traversal function. Group traversal function, after being allowed by other group members, you can travel to the world of the group member. Group members cannot attack each other. To use this function, you need to score 1000 points. Okay, it's not the function of whoring for nothing. Bai Feng then looked at the function of missions. The tasks are divided into 2 categories. The first category is the tasks posted by the group members themselves. The chat group deducts points according to the difficulty of the tasks to generate rewards. The second category is the tasks issued by the chat group itself. Generally, such tasks will only be issued under special circumstances. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came chapter 2. However, it is worth mentioning that neither of the 2 tasks is mandatory for you to take it. If you fail, you will only deduct a little points. Well, it seems that this chat group is still very harmonious and loving. And at present, except for the villain who puts on hairspray, that is, Aizen, everyone else is considered a decent person. Ding, group member Bai Feng started the group live broadcast, everyone, come and watch. Congratulations to the group members who are the first to open the group live broadcast function, rewarding 5000 points. Not bad, there is a surprise. A tinkling notification sounded, and after a while, all the group members entered Bai Feng's live broadcast room. Li Xiaoxi, damn it, my points. You must know that in the past, they could only get points by signing in, and they could only get 1 to 100 points each time. She signed in for a month, and now only has more than 800 points. Stark, good guy, I'm Stark, the richest man in the world would like to call you the most handsome person besides me. Yakumo Z, young man, do you want to have a shot? Zhang Chulan, it's not bad, it's a little worse than me. White beard, Kulala, boy, do you want to be my son? Bai Feng's face darkened, this guy with white beard is good at everything, it's just this hobby that makes people want to beat him up. Bai Feng patted the dust on his body. It was the first live broadcast, and he was a little nervous. Hi everyone, my name is Bai Feng, from. Before he finished speaking, his eyes changed for a while, kaleidoscope, reincarnation eye, and then closed again. Bai Feng, I'm really sorry, I was a little nervous when I started the live broadcast for the first time, and my Tensigan, Samsarayan, and Sharingan were all exposed. Li Xiaoxi. You must be showing off, you must be, woo, why do I have to worry about being chased and killed by monsters every day after time travel, when others have a lot of cheats after time travel? At this moment, Bai Feng touched his chest again, then took out a long sword with full special effects from it, and threw it on the ground. Bai Feng, I just said why it's a bit disgusting, who put such a crappy thing in my clothes, no wonder I feel panicked. Now, not only Li Xiaoxi was silent, but also other people watching the live broadcast. Although I don't know the level of this sword, it is not easy to look at the special effects. Group reminder, Bai Beard quit the live broadcast room, Li Xiaoxi quit the live broadcast room, Zhang Chulan quit the live broadcast room, Yuan Degu quit the live broadcast room. Seeing all the members leave the live broadcast room, Bai Feng couldn't help shaking his head. These people, their mental quality is not good enough. Stretching, Bai Feng picked up the big healthcare sword on the ground, put it into the system space, and rushed back towards Konoha. After all, there is still a kid waiting for him to attend his graduation ceremony. The live broadcast room was not closed either, it was only half an hour anyway. Of course, when passing through the streets of the town, I don't forget to help those young ladies who are still warm-hearted despite their ragged clothes. Every time he thought of this, Bai Feng couldn't help admiring the noble qualities of these young ladies. Chapter 3 Sharp Sword, Sharp Eye. After half a day of running around, Bai Feng finally returned to Konoha. After some investigation, he came to Konoha building to hand in the task. As soon as he arrived at the Hokage building, he saw a familiar figure, and he walked up immediately. Yo Kakashi, what are you doing here? Kakashi stared at a pair of dead fish eyes, and looked at Bai Feng behind him. Come here to hand in the task. By the way, you didn't go chasing and killing rebel ninja, and you came back so soon. Be low-key, you know my strength, don't publicize it loudly. Kakashi. Do I want to say that I don't know, but do you want to say that I know? You should lower your voice a little. It's so loud, are you afraid that others won't hear you? But looking at those strange eyes from around, Kakashi is also indifferent. After all, he is a man who can read pornographic books in full view without changing his face, such a small scene is nothing. Seeing Kakashi still looking at his affectionate paradise, Bai Feng sighed. By the way, Kakashi, your girlfriend must be very busy. Kakashi looked at him, I don't have a girlfriend yet. No, you have. Bai Feng emphasized, your little left and right must be very hard, but I really envy you. You have 2 girlfriends at a young age, unlike me, who don't have any. Looking at Kakashi's blank eyes, Bai Feng shook his head and sighed that life is difficult. Oh, no one in this world can understand me. Although he couldn't understand what Bai Feng was talking about, according to his understanding, it must not be a good thing. Kakashi made a decisive decision, put away the kissing heaven, quickly handed in a task, and then left with a blink of an eye. Bai Feng clicked his tongue, it's so fast, no wonder I didn't find a girlfriend until the finale, so that's how it is. Fortunately, my speed is slow and controlled, once a day, one day at a time. Seeing Kakashi leave, Bai Feng also handed over his task and walked towards the ninja school. If I remember correctly, today is the time for the new ninja school students to graduate, so it should be too late to go now. Just when I came to the ninja school, I saw a yellow hair sitting alone on a swing. Different from the surroundings, the students graduating all around have their parents to pick them up, and all have friends to talk to, but he is the only one who is out of place. Naruto looked at those laughing people, and listened to those parents encouraging, praising, and comforting their children. He shrank his body and buried his entire head in his knees. Bai Feng sighed, although it is much better for this kid to have his own care than in the original book, but he still misses his parents occasionally. Yo, Naruto, you must have failed your graduation exam. Bai Feng walked up and sat beside Naruto. Hearing the familiar voice, Naruto's depressed expression just now disappeared immediately, but he was a little dissatisfied when he heard the words behind. Just kidding, who am I am the future 6th Hokage, Uzumaki Naruto-sama. It is also true that with Bai Feng's care, his grades are still good. Unlike the original book, he passed the exam smoothly. As for why it is the 6th generation and not the 5th generation, because in Naruto's eyes, his brother Baifeng must be the 5th generation of Hokage in the future. Baifeng smiled, really, but I heard that someone always harassed Uchiha Sasuke in school. You like boys, but you can't be Hokage. Who said that? Naruto immediately jumped up and said something about the ninja school. Can it be called harassment? It was just a normal competition among classmates, and the air was filled with joy for a while. Baifeng looked at Naruto's excited look thoughtfully, and said that Hokage you were thinking about was not so excited, and that Uchiha Sasuke was just like you. Well. Thinking of this, Baifeng couldn't help sighing. Naruto was a little strange. Brother Baifeng, you're doing well, why are you sighing? It's nothing, I just think that the little piglet I raised will go over someone else's cabbage, and I don't know whether to be happy or sad. Ah, Brother Baifeng, you also raised a pig, how about it, fat or not, should we kill him? Baifeng looked at Naruto in disbelief. Good guy, ruthless person, why did you kill him, stew yourself in an iron pot? Thinking of this, Baifeng couldn't help but slap him on the head. Stop talking nonsense, let's go, brother will take you to a big meal to celebrate today. Good. Hearing the food, Naruto also cheered up. I want to eat Yuraka ramen. No, I ate well today, and you can order the barbecue dinner as you like. But Ichiraku ramen is delicious. Boom. Baifeng gave him an iron fist of love directly. I said barbecue is barbecue. Hi, I was wrong. Naruto immediately apologized, but at this time he was still very young but he had already been severely beaten by the society. When he walked to the school gate, Naruto seemed to have a feeling in his heart, and looked at a place. On the other side, Sasuke seemed to sense something, and looked over. The eyes of the two immediately intertwined, and a fierce spark collided. Hiss. Baifeng had a toothache. Good guy, as expected of you, Naruto, with same-sex attraction. He simply waved his hand. Little brat over there, would you like to have a meal together? Whispering sound. Uchiha Sasuke heard a man not much older than him call him a brat, snorted unhappily, then ignored Baifeng's greeting, and left straight away. Baifeng shook his head. He is really an arrogant guy, but when he just turned his head, there was a black line on his face. TSK TSK TSK, people are far away, let's see. Naruto suddenly came back to his senses, blushing. That's not it, hey. I see. Baifeng had an expression that I understood, and did not refute Naruto's words. Looking at Naruto who was eating so much, Baifeng nodded in satisfaction. That's right, after all, if you want to show the bayonet to Sasuke like a real man, you must have a strong body, so you must eat more. A sharp sword, a sharp eye. I don't know what those sand sculpture group friends are doing now. Thinking of this, Baifeng clicked on the chat group page. Daegu, Uncle Whitebeard isn't going to attack Tiki yet. Whitebeard, although I have seen the future, but I didn't see it with my own eyes, I still can't believe my son will be like this. Baifeng nodded. This is indeed Whitebeard's style, but judging from this, these people should have finished reading their works. Whitebeard, however, I will keep staring at Tiki with knowledge and knowledge this time. If he really dares to make a move, I will definitely let him know what pain is. Zhang Chulan, is this your father or your father in the legend? Aizen, we can finally change the name, but I didn't expect that there are so many magical worlds outside the world. In the jingling court, Lan Ran pushed the glasses on the bridge of his nose. His eyes were shining with an inexplicable light, and no one knew what he was thinking. At this time, Chizento came over, looked at Aizen who was still working most of the night, felt a little distressed, stepped forward and put the Captain Yuri on him, with a somewhat reproachful tone. Captain Aizen is serious, don't be busy with work all the time, and pay attention to your body occasionally. Hi, I see. There was a gentle smile on Aizen's face, but there were indeed other thoughts in his heart, looking forward. Chapter for the Fickle Man. In the chat group, the chat is still going on. Stark, the world of pirates is really scary. There are intrigues everywhere. Unlike me, I can only snuggle in the arms of my big sister. Rimuru, I also want to snuggle into big sister's arms. Why the goblins haven't come yet? Spider, bah, contempt. As a sad little spider, she despises this guy next door from the bottom of her heart. It's also time travel, why is his script long outyens, and mine is a counterattack script of waste materials. I don't agree with the coach, and someone cheated. Bai Feng, oh, there is no chicken talk. Stark, oh, no chicken talk. Zhang Chulan, oh, talk without chicken. Daegu, oh, there is no chicken talk. Yakumo Z, interrupt the formation. Dude, here's a misfit, let's throw him out. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came chapter 3. But Daegu, I didn't expect that you, with thick eyebrows and big eyes, are also such a person. Aren't you a warrior of light? You have changed. Bai Feng looked at the big and bold, crossed out, in front of Wujizitten, and he could only be the one who got big and bold. Bai Feng looked at the eye-catching word, Daegu, in front of him, and couldn't help feeling heartbroken. In just half a day, Daegu unexpectedly changed you into a different person. Huh, sure enough men are unreliable. Looking at Bai Feng in front of him, Naruto laughed, got angry, laughed again, a little scared, and couldn't help muttering. Brother Bai Feng is stupid, right? He's finished. He's only 16 years old. What did he do wrong? He just wants to live. With a slap, the chopsticks in Bai Feng's hand fell, and he bent down expressionlessly, picked up the chopsticks, and then sat back. Then he stared at Naruto on the opposite side with a blank face. Brat, are you afraid that I won't hear you or what? Please don't make your voice so loud when you mutter. Naruto, do you know something? What's the matter, brother Bai Feng? Those who know too much are usually the first to die. Since you have discovered it, I will send you on your way. Naruto squinted his eyes and stared at Bai Feng opposite. Brother Bai Feng, the friendship of many days is so worthless. That's right, die. After finishing speaking, he grabbed the chopsticks in his hand with lightning speed and thrust them forcefully in front of Naruto. With a bang, there was a sound of piercing into the flesh, and then Bai Feng retracted the chopsticks with the momentum of thunder, bringing up a large piece of flesh and blood. Bai Feng chuckled twice, and then swallowed the meat in one gulp under Naruto's unwilling eyes. You are so cruel, you actually. Pointing at Bai Feng, he said tremblingly, you didn't even leave me a piece of barbecue. Bai Feng burped in satisfaction, young people are just too young. Damn it. Naruto slapped the table with his big hand. Boss, have another order. Okay, wait a minute, I'll be here right away. Just as Naruto was waiting for the new barbecue to come up, a reminder sounded in his mind. Bai Feng clicked in and took a look. It turned out that someone was at IT himself, which was wrong. To be precise, it was all members of IT. Stark, everyone, I'm going to hold a banquet tomorrow, do you want to come to attend? Spider, is there anything to eat? Whitebeard, Kula Lala, the wine management is enough. I have never traveled to other worlds. I believe this must be a very interesting thing. Li Xiaoxi, I can't go, I have to conduct a practical exercise tomorrow, I'm off, I'm going to prepare. Yakumo Z, goodbye, little group leader. Zhang Chulan, is there any warm-hearted big sister? Blue Ran, is there any warm-hearted big sister? The group prompts that Aizen has withdrawn a message, guess what it is? Aizen, this +1. Bai Feng, I took a screenshot. Daegu, so fast hand speed, is this the power of the unicorn arm? Zhang Chulan, hiss, single group friends, so scary. Damn it, Bai Feng looked at Zhang Chulan's profile picture, and the more he looked at it, the more disgusting he looked. Do you want to line up with me too? Even Naruto who was opposite him felt a gust of cold wind blowing, and couldn't help shaking his body. Bai Feng, walking a bird under the moon JPG. Zhang Chulan, despicable outsider. Bai Feng, hey, I seem to have a few unused weapons here, and I don't know if anyone wants them, sparkling weapons JPG. Zhang Chulan, Dad, I was wrong. I'll go to your room tonight. Don't worry, it's definitely hot. Nima, this guy kneels too fast, and, what the is this terrible line, everyone has black lines on their faces, secretly saying shameless. Bai Feng was also speechless for a while, I don't understand what is hot or cold, I am just a child, what did I do wrong? Group reminder, group member Baifeng sent a group red envelope times 10, everyone come and grab it. Group reminder, Li Xiaoxi snatched an infinity blade, Whitebeard snatched a thorn vest, Stark snatched a bottle of little red bottle. Zhang Chulan snatched a pair of straw sandals. This time the red envelopes have been robbed, and Li Xiaoxi is the king of luck. These things, there are dozens of duplicates in Baifeng's sign-in system, and they are basically obtained by sign-in. According to the system, they are wholesale production. Group reminder, Whitebeard sent a group red envelope. Group reminder, Lan Ran sent a group red packet. Group reminder, Yakumo Z sent a group red envelope. Dude, is this stimulated? Looking at the red envelopes one after another, Baifeng sighed that the folk customs of this chat group are really good. Baifeng opened the red envelopes one by one with the intention of not wanting nothing. Congratulations on grabbing a devil fruit, congratulations on grabbing a qianda, congratulations on grabbing a diamond. Well, Whitebeard is still very aggressive, Eisen is not bad, Stark is not bad, Baifeng nodded in satisfaction, and then. Congratulations on grabbing a poke. Huh. Whose red envelope is this? Baifeng picked it up and looked, good guy, it's still Master Kong's braised beef noodles. Take a look at the chat group. Spider, a sea king that has been roasted, thanks to Uncle Whitebeard, woo woo woo, I can finally eat normal meat. After finishing speaking, she also posted a picture. In the picture, a spider was crying while hugging a huge Neptune. It was tears of emotion. Stark, thank you for a bottle of Master Kong's iced black tea from brother Zhang Chulan, good guy, you just robbed me of a diamond. Baifeng is speechless, tell Zhang Chulan, how much advertising fee Master Kong gave you. Ba, friends of the scrap group, casually handed Master Kang's braised beef noodles to Naruto next to him, and then secretly swore in his heart that he would not any red envelopes from Zhang Chulan in the future. Group reminder, Zhang Chulan sent a group red envelope. Baifeng was furious, I just swore that you would give out red envelopes, and you used this to test the cadres. Which cadre can't stand such a test? Group reminder, group member Baifeng received a group red envelope. Don't get me wrong, I just want to challenge my weakness, nothing else. Chapter 5 The Despicable Outsider. Looking at the Wang Laoji in his hand, Baifeng fell into deep thought, so why should I order this red envelope? On the other side, Limulu looked at the USB flash drive in his hand, and was also lost in thought, so he said, what is it? What is the 256G seed you wrote on it? If I don't have the tools, believe it or not, I'll just read it for you all night. Lanya under him looked at the object that suddenly appeared in the hands of Limulu on his back, a little surprised. Is this the method of Lord Rimuru? The creation of the void is so terrifying. At this time, Limuru was thinking about how to watch it, how to deal with this USB flash drive. After much deliberation, it seems that there is no way, let's put it first, and ask Stark to send a computer later. As for why not ask Stark to help post it now, looking at the group reminder that just grabbed the red envelope, Limulus said that he still doesn't want to die. It's just that the more he doesn't want to come, the more he will come. Baifeng, oh, 256G seeds, does our monster princess want a computer? Oh no, it seems that you can't use it either. After all, you are not only a nonsense, you also don't have a hand. Limulu, don't talk nonsense, despicable outsider. Limulu wants to shut Baifeng's mouth right now, it's so annoying to be on a horse, what's wrong with me without hands? When I have hands, I don't have the slow motion of left and right hands. Zhang Chulan, I understand this. After all, our Lord Limuru will soon become a beautiful monster princess, and he no longer needs to use it. Rimuru, go away. Limuru is very sad. In such a huge chat group, there is no room for me, a small slime. This broken group doesn't matter if you don't wait. Baifeng, philosophy. It's over, I'm not pure, and I understand it in seconds. It must be Zhang Chulan who deceived me. Zhang Chulan. Baifeng, oh, there are still a lot of weapons that have no place to put them. Zhang Chulan, Baifeng I'm actually your fan. When I watched Naruto, I lost my mind. Your words do what you say. This is my ninja, which broke my blood. Bai Feng, the one stepping on the horse is Naruto's line, you fake fan, get out of here. Zhang Chulan, Oda knows the Hokage asshole, I think this sentence is more passionate for you. Bai Feng, I also think that Oda doesn't understand Hokage, but he draws pirates, so Hokage has nothing to do with him. Zhang Chulan, farewell. Seeing the group quiet down instantly, Bai Feng curled his lips, a group of scum, none of them could survive. After closing the chat group interface, seeing Naruto fighting with barbecue, Bai Feng smiled, this kind of life is not bad. After eating the barbecue, Bai Feng sent Naruto back, Naruto, see you tomorrow. Brother Bai Feng, see you tomorrow. Naruto patted his chubby belly, and returned home with a hop. Bai Feng watched Naruto go back, and he also returned home to rest. The night passed quickly, and the next day just after dawn, there was a knock on the door of Bai Feng's room. But before Bai Feng could open the door, the man walked in directly, staring at Bai Feng with those dead fish eyes. Bai Feng looked at Kakashi who came in suddenly, and quickly covered the quilt tightly. Fuck, Kakashi, I didn't expect you to be such a person. Kakashi ignored Bai Feng's verbal harassment, and after getting along for so long, he was already immune. Hakakaze, the third-generation master told us all to gather in the Hokage building and get up quickly. It's okay to get up, but can you go out for a while? Are you still shy? Kakashi was immediately surprised, looking at Bai Feng as if he had discovered a new world. No, I'm just afraid that you will feel inferior. Hee hee. Kakashi scoffed at that. After a while, Kakashi, who was severely hit in his heart and body, came out listlessly, still muttering incessantly, 28, 28, 28. After a while, Bai Feng came out with a refreshed face and patted Kakashi on the shoulder. Kakashi, don't forget what you said. Just now, he was curious about what was in Bai Feng's quilt, and then made a bet, and it turned out. Alas, sad things don't matter. And just like that, a combination of sluggish and refreshed was born. However, although their spirits were sluggish, the speed of the two of them was not slow. After a while, the two of them had already arrived at the Hokage building. When they came here, they found a group of Jounin standing there. Seeing this, the two of them spent a lot of effort and finally got in. Phew, it's comfortable, I finally came in. Bai Feng sighed, and Kakashi next to him had black lines on his face. What kind of bad lines are you talking about? Who knew that there were whispers from the other side at this time? Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came chapter 4. Hong, the meeting is over later, let me show you a big baby, okay? What is it? It's exclusive to me, a big baby that can change shape, come and go quickly. I'm not going, or you can show me what it is now. Is it right here, isn't it? Right here. Oh well. Well, the lines here are even worse. Hey, you two are too much, Asma and Hong, such private things, shouldn't you go back and look at them? And Asma, I can't see that you, a thick-eyed person, come and go quickly, a man is too fast. At this time, Asma stretched his hand down, Kakashi showed horror, no way, could it be that Asma is really a man? Asma undid the pipe from his belt, lit it, and took a deep breath. Immediately afterwards, he brewed for a while, and slowly exhaled the smoke. The smoke suddenly became thicker and longer in the air, which was very miraculous. It's just a pity that the smoke dissipated quickly. Seeing this, Kakashi nodded involuntarily, and the secret passage was really fast. At this time, the third generation of Naruto Sarutobi Hiruzen had already come in front of everyone. Seeing the smoke that was still rising outside, he frowned, what kind of brain-dead family, Jonin, is so ignorant? Immediately afterwards, he looked over, oh, it turned out to be his own stupid son, that's okay, after all, he wasn't just being stupid for a day or two. The third generation knocked on the floor vigorously, attracting everyone's attention, and then said. The reason for calling everyone here today, I think you have already guessed. After finishing speaking, he gestured to his son to answer with his eyes downward. It's just a pity that Asma has only one person in her eyes, as for the 3 generations. Who is that, a strange old man? Chapter 6 The Mature Man. Fortunately, Bai Feng next to him said that he has always been a person who respects the old and loves the young since his previous life, and has been awarded the Little Red Flower by the school since kindergarten. Although there is no Little Red Flower after growing up, there are silver handcuffs. Bai Feng has always been aggrieved about this. He is only in his 20s, and his eldest sister in her 30s is not an old man to me. Isn't she advocating reducing the number of empty nesters as much as possible? Isn't an 18-year-old girl too young for me? What's wrong with taking care of her? I don't know which keeps reporting her. Cough cough, it's far away. Bai Feng stood up, looked at the 3 generations in front of him. It must be because of the batch of newly graduated ninjas from the ninja school. The 3rd generation nodded in satisfaction. Bai Feng was smart since he was a child. Then look at Asma, who is puffing and puffing. The face of the 3rd generation is dark again. She is young, and she doesn't know who she learned from, and she is smoking a cigarette every day. The 3rd generation pulled the hat on his head and nodded. Yes, the reason why I called you here is to assign you the task of leading the teacher. Next, I will start to read the list. You can go directly to the ninja school to lead people later. Squad 1, led by Jonin Kato Taka, members Yuichi Hitano, Ai Muto, and Sora. Hearing this name, Bai Feng was puzzled at first, then shocked, then frightened, then ecstatic. Kakashi was fascinated by watching it at the time. Why don't you play the face-changing master here? Seeing Kakashi like this, Bai Feng also knew what he was thinking, but he just smiled without saying a word. You don't understand, these people will be famous people all over the world. Squad 7, led by Kakashi Hitaki, members Uchiha Sasuke, Uzumaki Naruto, and Haruno Sakura. Squad 8, led by Kami Shinobi Hakakaze, members Hinata, Kiba Inuzuka, Shino Yum. Bai Feng felt a little dazed at the time. He thought that he was here just to fish for soy sauce. After all, he was working in the umbu. Usually it is to copy tasks such as chasing and killing traitors and obtaining information. What is it that I let myself be the teacher of the team now? In this way, what if he needs to go to another place to complete some special sign-in in the future, and now he can go to other worlds, and he doesn't know what the time difference between the worlds is. Being a teacher is not a mistake. However, as a qualified horseboy, Bai Feng felt that it would be better to have a heart-to-heart talk with the 3rd generation after the meeting. After a while, the class division was completed. Seeing the Hunin leaving one after another, Bai Feng deliberately fell behind. After there was no one there, Bai Feng circled back and found the 3rd generation. Seeing Bai Feng coming in, the 3rd generation was not surprised, but expected it. Bai Feng, I believe you must be very confused. Bai Feng nodded. He really didn't understand the thoughts of the 3rd generation, although these years he claimed to be the shadow of Konoha with 100% mission completion. Bai Feng, I'm not, I don't, that's Danzang. Okay, you guys actually want to murder me. You must know that when he just heard this name, he felt his chrysanthemum tighten, and he was shocked on the spot. You guys are trying to push me to the opposite of the protagonist, so vicious. Then I thought about it. It seems that Danzo's nickname is the darkness of the ninja world. Oh, that's okay. Bai Feng was thinking wildly below, while the 3rd generation continued to say his words. Over the years, you have made great contributions to Konoha, so I decided to let you go from darkness to light. Bai Feng probably understood the meaning of the 3rd generation, just wanted to support him, and he grew up in Konoha since he was a child, and his background was innocent. Now Bai Feng has no doubts. As for assigning the 8th class to himself, it should be a way to win him over. After all, there are all the children of Konoha's famous family, and letting me lead it can be regarded as paving the way in advance. Bai Feng is still thinking here, while Sandai is already asking him to go to the ninja school to pick up his students. Looking at the crystal ball on the table, Bai Feng immediately understood why the old man asked him to leave. Bah, LSP, I don't understand the truth of being beyond reach. Forget it, let's pick up my lovely students. Bai Feng shook his head, then left the Hokage building and walked towards the ninja school. When he arrived, the classroom was still buzzing with people, and the students were chattering, all fantasizing about their future ninja career. Bai Feng took a quick glance and saw the future Konoha Xiaoqiang. He just wanted to open the door and go in, but there was a flash of inspiration in his mind, as if he remembered something, quietly took out the video recorder from the system space, and prepared to record the moment when Naruto Sasuke challenged the world for true love. Suddenly, Naruto jumped on Sasuke's table, staring at him with deep love in his eyes. "Sas here." Sasuke was silent, just staring at Naruto with gentle eyes. "There are many people here, what do you want to do?" Suddenly, Naruto felt a boost coming from behind him, and he was overjoyed. "That's great, God, do you agree with our love?" He made a quick decision, and Naruto directly kissed him with the help of this power. Well, the above is purely Baifeng's perspective, and this is the normal situation. Naruto was very upset seeing Sasuke surrounded by many girls, and Sakura, whom he was thinking of, was also among them, which made Naruto's anger no longer controllable, and jumped on Sasuke's table at once. The two glared angrily, and their eyes collided with fierce sparks in the air. Suddenly, a classmate who was chatting happily at the front desk inadvertently reached out and pushed Naruto on the back, and then Vovo. The two immediately distanced themselves from each other, retching, and this scene was also seen by all the students present, and they all looked at the two of them with the eyes of a warrior. Outside, Baifeng put away the camera contentedly, adding to the scene of social death. A voice came from behind. "Baifeng, you are really boring." Baifeng was not surprised, and rolled his eyes. "Asma, you also enjoy watching it with gusto." Looking at him without a cigarette in his mouth, he felt a little strange. "By the way, Asma, why don't you stop smoking? Is this really rare?" Hearing Baifeng's question, Asma just waved her hands and looked up at the sky at a 45-degree angle. "Don't mention it, I was taken away by my father just now." Then he sighed again. "When I was chasing Popular, he rejected me. She said she likes more mature boys, but I think I am very mature." Baifeng had a look of incredulity on his face. "Is it the confidence that your thick hair gives you?" Asma looked shocked. "How do you know?" "My dad often told me not to feel inferior because of this, it is a symbol of a mature man." Baifeng twitched the corners of his mouth, speechless, but seeing Asma's appearance, he suddenly felt that it was normal. Chapter 7 What I Am. However, the purpose of waiting here has been achieved. Baifeng looked at the precious pictures in the camera. These are the precious memories of Naruto becoming Hokage in the future. After waving at Asma, Baifeng walked into the classroom. Hinata, Kiba Inazuka, Shino Yum, come with me, I am your team leader teacher." Hearing the familiar voice, the three of Hinata hadn't reacted yet. Naruto reacted first, turned his head in disbelief, and looked at Baifeng. "Brother Baifeng, why are you here? You are still the team leader of Ya and the others." Baifeng looked at him with the eyes of a silly son looking at a landlord's house. "What is my identity?" "Ninja Konoha." "Then what is the identity of the leading teacher?" "Ninja Konoha." Speaking of this, Naruto suddenly realized that it was so. Baifeng ignored him and left with Hinata and the others. The group of people had just left, and some jonin came to lead the group one after another. After a while, there were only Naruto, Sasuke and Sakura left inside. Sasuke looked at Naruto, hesitant to speak, and finally, he couldn't help it, and asked Naruto. "Naruto, do you know that guy just now?" Naruto thought for a while, then hummed, "That's right, big brother Baifeng has been taking care of me, he's a super nice guy. But he looks a few years older than us, is he really a jonin?" Sasuke was a little unconvinced. After all, Baifeng looked too young. Naruto thought for a while, then shook his head. "I haven't seen brother Baifeng make a move, but he is indeed a jonin." On the other side, Baifeng sneezed suddenly and rubbed his nose. "I seem to hear someone say I'm handsome." Bringing San Xiaoqiang to a small forest, Baifeng nodded in satisfaction. "As expected of me, any place is perfect like this." Seeing Mengxin, the three little ones who were waiting for him to harm him, he was still a little uncomfortable being a teacher for the first time, coughed twice, and recalled the scene when he watched Hokage in his mind. "My name is Hakukaze, Konoha Jamanin, and I will be your team leader teacher from today. Now, in order to strengthen our understanding, each of you will introduce your hobbies, dislikes, dreams and so on. While reminiscing, I speak according to the fragments in the memory, not to mention, being a teacher for the first time is full of sense of accomplishment." Just as Baifeng finished speaking, Ye raised his hand excitedly. I will come first." Well, very good, very motivated, Baifeng nodded, then you talk first. My name is Inazuka Iba. My favorite food is meat, but I hate eating vegetables. My hobby is keeping dogs. My dream is to become Hokage. What do you think, Akamaru? Woo. But what responded to him was just a whimper, and Kiba hurriedly looked, but what he saw was the scene where Akamaru shrank into his clothes. He scratched his head. Strange, what happened to Akamaru today? Shino next to him pushed his glasses, and he probably knew what was going on with Akamaru's reaction, because now the bugs all over his body were conveying fear, and trembling emotions to him. The perception of animals is much sharper than that of humans, not to mention the nurturing beasts. Jinao's face was blocked by his collar, so he couldn't see clearly what he was thinking, only he knew that the person in front of him was very dangerous. My name is Yumshino. My favorite food is vegetables, but I hate meat. My hobby is bugs. My dream is to cultivate the most powerful insects. Baifeng looked at the blushing Hinata. It's your turn. My name is Hinata. What I like, hobbies are, things I hate. Hinata's voice became smaller and smaller, so small that Baifeng couldn't hear it clearly. Baifeng was a little helpless. It's not that you are shy, and there is no Naruto here. Just when he was about to speak, Hinata's voice suddenly became louder. The dream is to become a great ninja like Tsunade-sama. After yelling this sentence with full momentum, Hinata lowered her head again. The momentum just now disappeared instantly, and played a finger-to-finger game. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came chapter 5. Baifeng has a headache. These 3 people have some troublesome personalities. Jinai, a melancholy young man, talks less in silence, and has a low sense of presence. Hinata, an introverted girl, is very shy, but it is easy to solve because of Naruto's relationship. Unlike Hinata, he is too extroverted. He is simply a copy of Naruto. If he does not have a master ancestor on his head, he would be the protagonist of a hot-blooded boy. But thinking of other Xiaoqiang's personalities, Baifeng suddenly felt that the 8th class was still very fragrant. Thinking of this, he looked at the 3 of them with softer eyes. These are a group of good boys. The 3 of Hinata are still a little confused. Why is this teacher's eyes so weird? Okay, now I announce the official establishment of the 8th class. We will go back to rest today and gather here tomorrow to start our first mission. After saying this, Baifeng left the place with a blink of an eye. Jinai looked at Baifeng who left, and said in a deep voice, our teacher is not simple. Regarding Shino's words, Kiba didn't feel much. I think our teacher is easy to get along with, isn't it Hinata? Okay. Baifeng returned home, analyzed the 3 students' problems, and then remembered that he hadn't signed in today. System, start signing in. Sign in successfully, update the host and get a chakra card. What a stingy reward. Baifeng curled his lips, but this was also within his expectation. The probability of getting precious items from the daily check-in is too small. After all, he can sign in once a day. If you want to get rich rewards, you have to rely on special check-in tasks. At this time, the chat group jingled. Baifeng clicked in and saw that Stark was crazy about Ite and the others. Stark, it's a long life, and the Hulk actually appeared here. Zhang Chulan, what a fuss, you already have a Hulk there. Limulu, handsome Mr. Richest Man JPG. White Beard, handsome Mr. Richest Man JPG. Baifeng, handsome Mr. Richest Man JPG. Stark, no repeats, and also, I'm talking about another Hulk showing up, because Banner has gotten into a fight with him. As he said that, he also uploaded a video in the chat group. When everyone saw it, they immediately clicked on it to watch it. As soon as the video was turned on, a ferocious aura rushed towards us. Helicopters densely packed in the sky and tanks on the ground kept releasing artillery fire, shooting towards the 2 big green guys in the center. It's just that the artillery fire exploded on the giant's body, but it didn't cause the slightest injury. Instead, it aroused the giant's fierceness, and its size became bigger and bigger. And along with the battle between the 2 giants, helicopters were constantly destroyed, and high-rise buildings were knocked down. Chapter 8. Hiss, man on top of man, this is it. Looking at the uglier guy in the picture, he was fighting in a pair of briefs, and howled from time to time. The picture is so beautiful, it's really eye-catching. Zhang Chulan, my eyes, my eyes. White beard, why is this thing uglier than those guys in our world? Eisen, this should be the Hulk and the Abomination, but why did the Abomination turn green? As expected of being the only villain in the group, the angle of observation is different. Bai Feng, from the looks of it, it seems that the degree of completion of the Abomination is higher, but Stark, you should have researched the mech by now. Stark, I'm preparing to go there, but I guess it's a bit of a mystery. I haven't researched the anti-Hulk armor yet. In the Marvel world, Stark is wearing the mech that has just been maintained and is flying towards the battle. Jarvis, how about calculating the winning percentage of this battle? Sir, based on the transmitted battle screen calculations, our winning rate is 0.5%. Stark also sent this result to the group. Daegu, this winning rate is really small. Otherwise, Stark, you can start a live broadcast, and we will give you advice and suggestions. As a partner of justice, Daegu, the incarnation of light, is still very caring, and immediately came up with a way to help Stark. Whitebeard, Daegu is right, brainstorming. Zhang Chulan, yes, I think so too. Rimuru, praise Daiko, I think the same way. Stark, you too, don't think I'm saying this without knowing you're looking for a show. Spider, strongly condemn Rimuru, woo, I was hunted down by monkeys just now. I'm just a poor weak and helpless spider, I just want to go out for a walk, what did I do wrong? Rimuru, then do you want to see it? Spider, okay, and can you give me a bottle of Coke and potato chips by the way? Group reminder, group member Bai Feng sent an exclusive red envelope to Zizizi. Bai Feng, can Wang Laoji do it? Spider, alright, thank you, boss. In the world under one person, Zhang Chulan looked at the bottle of Wang Laoji, and the more he looked at it, the more he felt familiar. When he looked carefully, he couldn't help being furious. Zhang Chulan, well, you bastard, you use my items in exchange for other people's gratitude, what a great authority you are. Bai Feng curled his lips in disdain, it was just a bottle of Wang Laoji, Zhang Chulan was inferior. Although Stark felt that these group friends were unreliable, he still opened the group live broadcast. This is also what he planned early on. After all, the live broadcast room is from God's perspective, and he will see more things than his first perspective. You can find out more quickly when you encounter danger. After all, the information in the chat group is directly displayed in your mind. While Bai Feng was watching the live broadcast, the notification sound of the sign-in system suddenly rang. Congratulations to the host for triggering a special check-in task, traveling through the Marvel world to defeat the Hulk and the Abomination, check-in reward, unknown, failure penalty, none. Bai Feng rubbed his chin, special check-in task, it looks pretty good. Bai Feng, Stark, please post a task in the group first, if you can't solve it by then, I can help you. Although it is a special sign-in task, Bai Feng is not so eager to improve his strength. It depends on whether Stark can solve it by himself. Stark, can you do it, don't force it. In the group, there are only no works about Bai Feng, and Bai Feng has never boasted about his own strength, so Stark is a little worried at this time. Bai Feng, SOSO, one-handed hanging is still possible. Stark, worship the boss. Spider, worship the boss. Whitebeard, worship the boss. Seeing Bai Feng's reply at this time, Stark felt relieved. Group reminder, group member Stark has released a mission for help, the current difficulty is 2 stars, and the mission rewards Thor's hammer. 1 star ordinary level. 2 stars superclass. 3 stars against the city level. 4 stars against the national level. 5 stars destroy stars. 6-star world class. Seeing the difficulty prompt of the task, Bai Feng breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that this should be the movie version of Marvel, not the abnormality of the anime version, otherwise the difficulty would at least be at the national level. With this difficulty, there are several things that can be done in the group, so he also asked in the group. Bai Feng, is there anyone who wants to take this task? Yakumo Z, don't go, what's so good about a muscular guy? Daegu, I still have monsters to deal with here, so I won't go there either. Zhang Chulan, Daegu, can you concentrate, beat a monster and come to the water. Whitebeard, I still have to keep an eye on Tiki, I can't go there, lest any accidents happen. At this time, Stark's attention has left the chat group interface, because at this time two giant figures have appeared in front of him. Stark took a deep breath, flew close at once, looked at the two giants who were still wreaking havoc, and stretched out his hands. In the next second, a dazzling laser lighted up and hit the two of them. However, the laser light fell on the thick-skinned giant and did not cause any harm. Stark's face was ugly. Looking at the situation, let alone a 0.5% winning rate, there is not even a 0.1%. However, he still did not give up. He manipulated the mech and circled around, looking for opportunities. Seeing Iron Man's arrival, the surrounding troops also boosted their morale and launched a more violent attack. During this process, Stark's eyes lit up, and he finally found a weakness that was not considered a weakness. It's just that he was a little hesitant, but just gritted his teeth at random. Forget it, let's die if you die, anyway, it's just for a while, and you forget it after time passes. Jarvis, switch from laser weapon to cryo weapon. Okay, sir. After switching weapons, Stark looked at the two-headed giants who didn't take him seriously at all, crooked his mouth and smiled with Nike, let's die. With a smile rising, the intense blue laser shot towards the two giants, but unexpectedly, the two giants just collided and their bodies were thrown upwards. In the next second, everyone who was watching the group live broadcast couldn't help covering their lower bodies. Zhang Chulan, common cold attack chicken, hiss, what a vicious Stark. Limulu, is this the legendary chicken and egg fight? Mr. Richest Man is really scary. Bai Feng, painful chicken, my opponent, it is indeed you, Stark. Stark looked at the bullet screens that played in the live broadcast room, his face darkened, and he quickly explained. No, listen to me, it was an accident, I actually wanted to attack their back. Bai Feng, I understand. Zhang Chulan, the hobby is so special, it's over, I dare not go to your party to attend the banquet. Limulu, the chat group is really wonderful. JPG. As the protagonist of Long Outyan's script, Limulu doesn't need to do anything at all, so it can be said that he is very boring. The point is that there is nothing to entertain in the other world, and the only entertainment is to explore the origin of human beings. It's just that he, who lost a good chicken, is like what the group said, everything he thinks is nonsense. Therefore, he is one of the people who have been diving for the longest time in the chat group. Different from the laughter in the chat group, Stark can be said to be suffering severe blows both physically and mentally. Joy is not the same from person to person, I even think they are noisy. The two Hulks were attacked to the point of their dignity as men, and although no harm was done, they felt insulted. Therefore, at the same time, the two stopped fighting one after another, and their eyes were fixed on where Stark was. Chapter 9 Stark, which is better between me and Captain America? Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came Chapter 6. Facing the eyes of the two Hulks, Stark inhaled, raised his chest, raised his hips, stretched out his fingers and ticked towards the opposite side. You, come here. Zhang Chulan, holy crap, hot eyes. Bai Feng, at this moment, your hips have surpassed Captain America. Zhang Chulan, Stark, which one is better between me and Captain America? Although the chat group was very happy, it seemed as if a hornet's nest had been ignited. The eyes of Hulk and Abomination immediately turned red, and they slapped their chests vigorously with both hands, and then rushed straight towards Stark. In the process of running, the tanks were directly trampled and exploded, turning into debris all over the place. Stark was unhurried, showing his bossy temperament. Jarvis, choose the best route, and start running away into the wild. Good sir. At the same time, he was frantically chatting with Bai Feng. Stark, boss, come here quickly, I'm going to die. Looking at the two big guys getting closer and closer to him, he would be caught within 10 minutes at most, and then he would be chopped into pieces. I don't know what the world will be like after death, whether there will be heaven and hell, whether there will be angel sisters or demon sisters. Also, cat girls from different worlds, fox spirits, snake girls, etc., there seems to be succubi. Bah, 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 what am I thinking, how can there be beast mothers in hell? Just when Stark's thinking diverged, they had come to a mountain range. Suddenly, Hulk accelerated and stepped heavily on the ground, causing the ground to split open due to this force. With the help of this power, Hulk jumped up high, and slapped Stark, who was flying in the air, with a huge palm. It's over, it's over. Seeing this scene, Stark wailed directly in his heart, now he really wants to go to play with the devil. With a bang, there was a violent collision sound, followed by the sound of a heavy object falling to the ground. Stark didn't feel any pain, so he opened his eyes and looked. Damn it, boss. At first glance, it was Bai Feng who helped him block the attack just now, and smashed Hulk to the ground heavily. Bai Feng knew that Stark was on the live broadcast, so he waved his hand in the air. Limulu, let's go, I can't watch this group of live broadcasts. Why are you still staying here now, waiting to see Bai Feng show his holiness in front of others, pretending to be slapped in the face? That's so boring. Zhang Chulan, it's boring, let's go. Regarding the two major scourges in the group, Bai Feng didn't care about it at all, and the two were off. Looking at Stark in front of him, Bai Feng couldn't help giving a thumbs up. Big shit, your battle armor looks really cool. Stark looked at Bai Feng with the eyes of meeting a confidant. Heroes see the same thing, and it turns out that mechas are the romance of men. But he forgot that he was wearing a mecha, and Bai Feng couldn't see his eyes at all. Since we get along so well, why don't you give me a few sets later? No problem. Stark blurted out, and immediately reacted, wait, what did you say? He is not like in the future, he has a lot of mechas, and now he only has 2 mechas in total. The screen is recorded, and the group of friends are watching. This is Stark's own promise. It's a pity that Bai Feng didn't give him a chance to react at all. Although it's useless for him to take it back, it can be given to his lovely student. Iron Man vs. Ninja, it's exciting to think about that scene. The two above had a heated chat, but Hulk and Abomination below would quit. Why, Stark, you old scumbag, you were still teasing the two of us vigorously just now, now you have a new love, you turned your face and didn't recognize anyone, right? Especially Hulk, he was thrown hard just now. The two giants looked at each other and saw the same feeling from each other. Roar. The sky-shattering roar sounded, and the size of the two giants became larger again, from 12 meters to tens of meters, and their huge size was comparable to a mountain. Gudong. Looking at this scene, Stark couldn't help swallowing, and asked Bai Feng beside him, can this thing be solved now? Don't worry, leave it to me. Bai Feng waved his hand, motioning for Stark to stand behind, then turned around, looked at Abomination and Hulk. It's just that, actually, I also like to use force to overwhelm people, Susan. With the fall of the voice, the kaleidoscope Sharingan in the eyes spun, and chakras began to emerge, spread, and splicing around the body. But in the blink of an eye, a giant with a height of hundreds of meters appeared on the spot out of thin air. Bai Feng stood in it, looking down at the Hulk indifferently. The huge figure just now was as small as an ant in his eyes. Limulu, damn, is this really something I can watch without charging money? As far as Susanu's special effects are concerned, isn't this more exciting than those so-called blockbuster movies in the previous life? Zhang Chulan, damn, he pretended to be there, and I told you to slip away, and you still don't believe it. Stark, by the way, you two are going to quit the live broadcast room, why are you still here? Seeing Bai Feng's posture, Stark knelt down immediately, and he has become a salted fish who can only shout yo. As the saying goes, behind every successful man there is another woman who silently supports him. Although I, Stark, am not a woman, I can support him behind the boss. Bai Feng didn't know that Stark was thinking of becoming the man behind him at this time, otherwise Bai Feng would have already done it without the two Hulks. Looking at the Hulk who was still clamoring, Bai Feng raised his fist as huge as a mountain, and threw it directly at the two Hulks below him. Seeing the falling attack, the red light in the eyes of Hulk and Hate receded, and under the threat of death, their rationality finally returned to their original bodies. But even if he regained his sanity, it would be too late to escape from such a wide-ranging attack. Hateful. Cursing inwardly, before they had time to think about it, the two had no choice but to bite the bullet and bump into the falling fist. The huge fist collided with the Hulk and hated the two with violent gusts and sonic booms. The two sides seemed to be in a stalemate for a while, and in the next second, the two of Hulk were smashed into the soil by Susanoo at a faster speed than when they came. Feeling that the vitality in the two of them was still strong, Bai Feng nodded. Even though it was just a movie version of the Hulk, it was very durable. Immediately no longer keep your hands, raise your fist, drop, raise, drop. The rumbling sound kept ringing, and the ground was trembling. Hakukaze controlled Susanoo to hit the ground again and again. Visible to the naked eye, the height of the mountains is dropping a little bit, and the ground is also slowly dropping. Stark manipulated the mech to move towards the back to avoid unintended disasters, silently praying for the Hulk in his heart. Banna, may God bless you, I hope you won't get lunch so soon. Of course, if you can't hold on, then go, I will help take care of your wife. Oh no, you don't have a wife yet, then it's a sad story. Chapter 10 The Serious Ninja. High-end ingredients often only need the simplest cooking method, just like our ancestors told us, concentration is the essence. After repeated beatings, our hated classmates have deeply understood this truth, and the size has changed from tens of meters to the size of an ordinary person. Seeing the disgust on the ground fainted, Bai Feng was very satisfied. His naked body was wrapped in flour and fried until golden repeatedly, and the Hulk next to him was sobbing. Speaking of Hulk, Bai Feng has a bit of a headache, because in Marvel's settings, Hulk's power comes from anger. The more angry, the greater the power. No one knows where the upper limit is. After a few minutes of father beating his son, Hulk said that he was so angry now that instead of shrinking, he grew slightly bigger. The current Hulk vividly interprets what is the gap between genuine and pirated versions. For example, the pirated version of Hulk Abomination will wither in a few minutes. Seeing that Hulk, who had been ravaged for a long time, not only showed no sign of shrinking, but became more and more ferocious, Stark couldn't help shouting, "Boss, you don't seem to be able to satisfy him. Bai Feng has black lines on his face, why can't I satisfy him? If he can't speak, just keep his mouth shut." In the live broadcast room, many members of the group who watched this scene also felt that it was a big deal to watch the excitement, and they booed. Zhang Chulan, "Boss, Stark is right, the Hulk is so big, you really can't satisfy him." Rimuru, "What, pass it on," Stark said the boss is too small. Stark, "What, the Hulk thinks the boss is too small." Yakumo Z, "What, the boss can't do it." Those who ride horses, this group of hairy people. Seeing the more and more outrageous speeches, Bai Feng's face darkened, and he directly closed the live broadcast interface. Seeing the Hulk getting bigger and bigger, Bai Feng actually wanted to shoot him to death. But think about it, at least it is Stark's future friend, and it would be unethical to kill him directly. Forget it, it's better to knock him out, although it's a little troublesome, but Bai Feng already has a solution. Z said, "Men eat soft but not hard, women eat hard but not soft." Of course, soft and hard here are not adjectives. To deal with a reckless man like the Hulk, just hang him to death. Thinking of this, Bai Feng untied Susanoo, and said lightly behind him, "Stark, stay away, the movement will be a bit loud later, I don't care if it affects you." Hearing this, Stark flew towards the periphery from his heart and moved the live broadcast view to Bai Feng. Zhang Chulan, "Get out of the way, I'm going to start pretending." Rimuru, "It's okay, it's a little worse than me." Spider, "That's right, after all, he was the great magician who wanted his colleagues to destroy the 256G hard drive before he died." Rimuru, "Damn it, why are you targeting me? I'm just a slime, I just want water, what did I do wrong?" The huge chat group is full of backstabs everywhere. In the long run, where is the future of the chat group and where is the hope of the group members? Thinking of this, Limulu's body made of water burst into flames. Lanya, Master Limuru is very hot. Absolutely. Limulu was so ambitious at this time, she didn't notice anything wrong with Lanya's words, and spoke directly in the group. Limulu, "In order to have the ambition to sacrifice, I dare to ask Ling Yun to exchange for the blue sky." Group reminder, group member Limulu withdrew a message. As soon as she sent it out, Limula regretted it immediately, and rolled around on Lanya's back, so shameful. Zhang Chulan. Screenshot. Yakumo Z. Screenshot. Rimuru. Chat group, record the moment of social death. Because Bifeng blocked the chat group, he didn't notice this scene at all. Otherwise, he would definitely make trouble for Limulu, one of the double evils of the chat group. At this time, Bifeng followed the basic common sense of ninjas, and clapped his hands together. Water done. Who will repair the dam? Isn't a ninja just clapping his hands, shouting whatever he wants? No one who is serious will make a seal. You're right, Kisame. Endless chakra gushed out from Bifeng's body, and immediately after, a huge stream of water descended from the sky. Now in terms of Bifeng's strength, even a small sea-level ninjutsu can exert devastating power in his hands. This is the same as the Huadun used by Lord Dancer Ban, but it's even more exaggerated than that. Shocking noises sounded, and the huge pothole formed by the indiscriminate bombing by Susan just now was quickly filled by the surging water. Immediately afterwards, the boundless water continued to fall, drowning the trees, the mountains, and the Hulk. Finally, the original mountains disappeared, replaced by a huge lake. Although Bifeng can continue to expand this range if he wants to, but it is not necessary, this level is enough. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came chapter 7. Not far away, military troops arrived late in armed helicopters. Seeing the sudden change of terrain, they couldn't help swallowing. Cold sweat overflowed on his forehead. What kind of monster is this? Suddenly, the leader, General Ross, seemed to have remembered something, and immediately picked up the communicator in his hand, his tone almost roaring. Quickly stop the helicopters of those newspapers, and don't let them expose this scene, otherwise it's going to cause a lot of panic among people. General. A voice came from the communicator. It's too late, this scene has already been broadcast live. Fuck. Ross was so angry that he threw the communicator in his hand on the table. The siege of the Hulk was completely organized by him. In the end, such a change occurred, and he would definitely be punished when he went back. Bifeng didn't know that what he did was broadcast live, but even if he knew, it didn't matter. Anyway, I'm not from this world, so even if it caused any impact, I'm sorry, you have the ability to hit me across the world. Sensing the movement from the bottom of the water, Bifeng knew that this guy was still struggling, but the Hulk with brute strength didn't have the ability to breathe in water. The macho Hulk was eager to escape from this place, but under the control of Bifeng, the boundless water flow was like a bunny girl in a bar, entangled him vigorously, and kept calling for the uncle to come and play. In the end, Hulk still couldn't resist the bunny girl's attack, and was tightly entangled in place, breathing more and more heavily, and his eyes getting redder and redder. Suddenly, as if he had reached his limit, the red-faced and thick-necked Hulk suddenly rolled his eyes. At this moment, he felt that everything was so boring. At this moment, he seemed to be transformed into a wise man, thinking about the origin of human beings and the meaning of life, and then, with this thinking, he fainted at the bottom of the water. In this regard, the currents who were still tender like water just now saw that the macho Hulk was so useless, and threw him out of the water very angrily. Chapter 11 The Charm of Words. Woohoo! Looking at Dr. Banner flying towards him, Stark was very happy and quickly reached out to catch him. Looking at Stark's happy look, and then looking at Banner's thin body, he couldn't help but sigh. Z said, "You are very narrow, you can understand people, do it dozens of times, and you suddenly become enlightened." Well, don't ask me where I learned it from the ancients. Facing Bifeng's sudden words, Stark was a little confused. Boss, isn't that Tao Yuanming's work, and you made a typo? Yo, big is not bad, I actually secretly made up lessons, but what I mean is that I said, is there something wrong with what I said? There is nothing wrong. Seeing Stark's bewildered look, Bifeng shook his head, a little resentful that iron can't be made into steel, dead wood can't be carved, Chinese culture is broad and profound, and you still have a lot to learn. Zhang Chulan, Che, what a fast car. Limulu, I didn't see anything. What, you asked me why there are 2 will marks on my face, how do I know? Yakumo purple, dirty. Spider, Mr. Bifeng has started his class, what should I do if newcomers can't drive well? just take a look and you'll be fine. But feeling the approach of those helicopters in the distance, Bai Feng frowned, put one hand on Stark's shoulder, and disappeared in place with a swish. Appearing again, the two have returned to Stark's villa. Stark looked at everything around him, and directly swears, "Fuck you, boss, do you think I still have a chance to learn this? I think you need a camera." Bai Feng replied casually, and said to the system in his heart, "System, start signing in." Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the special sign-in task, the sign-in is successful, congratulations to the host for being rewarded with the power of the Phoenix. Fuck, it's true or not, this is simply a hit. The power of the Phoenix, the embodiment of life and emotion in the primordial universe, was born at the beginning of all things. It is a chaotic and immortal, eternal but impermanent existence. The power of the Phoenix has unlimited energy, which can enhance the host's ability without limit, make it immortal, and control the law of cause and effect to dominate the material world. It can also manipulate microscopic particles and easily destroy any space dimension and time axis. The Phoenix's verdict can regenerate or destroy everything in the universe, even the universe itself. The power of the Phoenix, together with the power of the Goblin and the power of Chaos, are called the three ancient divine powers of the Marvel Universe. Moreover, if the power of the Phoenix is grown to the limit, it should be able to reach the multiverse level. After all, the power of the Phoenix is the embodiment of the original universe. But now it is just obtained, and it will take a long time to grow to that height. But even if he just obtained it, Bai Feng still feels that his body is getting stronger slowly. Even if he doesn't practice cultivation now, he can still become stronger slowly. Yes, this is simply the core skill necessary for Xianyu, and at this time, the rewards of the chat group were also distributed. Congratulations to Bai Feng, a member of the group, for completing the task and getting the Thor's Hammer, artifact, as a reward, with 5,000 points. Looking at the hammer that suddenly appeared in his hand, with its exquisite appearance and gorgeous decoration, if it weren't for the wisps of thunder light wandering around it, I am afraid no matter who it is, it will not be regarded as a weapon at first glance. Is a work of art. Bai Feng picked up the hammer, swung it casually a few times, and nodded in satisfaction. Yes, it's quite smooth, and he will take out the hammer when fighting in the future, 80 for the big hammer and 50 for the small hammer. At this time Stark had put Banner on the sofa and let him lie down, took off the armor on the surface, and sat down beside the chair. "Huh, I'm really exhausted." "It wasn't you who fought, you were tired." Bai Feng rolled his eyes. "You are so tired, just now you have been yelling at the back, stabbing me in the back from time to time, don't think I don't know if I didn't read the chat group." Just now, Bai Feng had opened the chat group panel, and took a quick look at the unread messages, all of which were backstabbing comments from a group of Sand Sculpture group members. Snapped a photo toward Quake's hammer and hit send. "Bai Feng, this Thor's hammer is so big, it's not easy to use at all, dislike JPG. Zhang Chulan, hehe, pass it on," the boss said, "it's so big, it's not easy to use." Rimuru, pass it on, the boss doesn't, like big ones. Yakumo Z, pass it on, the boss is very, small. Bai Feng, oh, what a pity, I was thinking of sending a reward for artifacts in the chat group just now, but I just sent a red envelope for fun when I was bored. Seeing Bai Feng's snarky look in the group, and the arrogance revealed between the lines, a bird walker who did not want to reveal his name expressed deep condemnation. It's amazing to have a magical tool, it's amazing to be strong, it's amazing to be handsome, besides these, what else do you have, what are you still? Zhang Chulan, Dad, I was wrong. The rapid change of attitude and the sincerity of the attitude, Zhang Chulan's intention to reform at the moment can be seen from the lines. Limulu, I am ashamed to be with you if I recognize a thief as my father. The beautiful monster princess said that you have finished all the work, what do I do? The two evil groups in the chat group have since fallen apart, the reason, internal strife. Bai Feng didn't bother to care about these two men, Kun Feng was misled by them. Group reminder, group member Bai Feng sent a group red envelope, everyone come and get it. Group reminder, Zhang Chulan received the group red envelope, Whitebeard received the group red envelope, Li Molu received the group red envelope. Bai Feng, when did you go online, Whitebeard? By the way, did Tiki make a move? Whitebeard, not yet, but I found a devil fruit when I went out today, if nothing unexpected happens, soon. Limulu, so fast, how long have you been there, Uncle Whitebeard? And I have only been here for 1 day. Whitebeard, half a month. Zhang Chulan, 10 days have passed by my side. Spider, 6 days. Yakumo Purple, 1 day. Aizen, 3 days. Daegu, 7 days. Baifeng took a general look, and the time flow seems to be irregular at all, and has nothing to do with the strength of the world. Well, that's not right, you didn't feel the time flow is different when chatting, it seems that the time flow will become the same as long as you are online. Well, why the chat group treats group members like this, the reason behind it is heartwarming. Baifeng, at that time, if there is any accident, you can call me at any time, gold medalist, you deserve it. Yakumo Z, I am also very interested in the devil fruit in One Piece world, please bring me one when the time comes. Rimuru, and me, it's really boring here. Daegu, I'll ask for a day off then. Zhang Chulan, I won't go, the strength is low, and it was troublesome in the past. He is still very confident about his own strength. In the past, not only would he not be able to help, but he might even need someone to distract and protect him. Stark, then add me too. After all, I can fly. There are only a few people in pirate world who can fly, and they can still help. Stark, who was sitting on the sofa across from Baifeng, also spoke, but what he said was not bad. His mecha is flying, and judging from the weapons he carries, none of the lieutenant generals and below are his opponents in the world of pirates. Chapter 12 Planning. Everyone is speaking positively. After all, the atmosphere in the chat group is very good, and everyone's relationship is okay. At this moment, the door of Stark's villa was knocked, and Stark recovered from the indulging in the chat group, and went out to open the door. As for Baifeng, he was familiar with the newly acquired Phoenix Force while enjoying the water. Stark led a woman dressed as an urban white-collar worker back from the outside. The woman was wearing a pair of high heels and had blonde hair. She didn't have a very beautiful face, but her temperament was quite eye-catching. Stark introduced to Baifeng, Pepe Potts, my assistant. Then he introduced Baifeng to her, this is Baifeng, a friend of mine. Baifeng looked at this woman and knew that she was Stark's future wife, nicknamed Pepper, so he stood up and raised his hand, hello, Miss Pepe. Hello, Mr. Bai. After the two shook hands, they sat down again, and Pepper looked at Stark, Tony, everyone is looking for you outside. Looking for me? Isn't this normal? After all, it's not a day or two since they've been coveting my armor, but my research can't be put into war. Because of the reasons he encountered earlier, he became very disgusted with war from a warmonger, and even stopped his most profitable weapons research factory. Little Pepper shook his head, it's different this time. As he spoke, he untied the backpack he was carrying behind him, took out the notebook inside, and called up a video. In the video, a female reporter is filming a huge lake with excitement. From the point of view, the reporter should be riding a helicopter above the lake. Dear viewers and friends, our location was originally a mountain range, yes, you heard it right, a mountain range, but it was changed into this shape by a person a few hours ago, without any external force, just relying on a few bodies. The comments below were all in disbelief, and the reporter obviously expected this scene long ago, so he didn't talk nonsense, and directly released the video of Baifeng fighting the two giants. No, it's more like a one-sided fight than a big fight. At this time, along with the video, the reporter's voice came out. And this powerful existence looks at the performance, and the relationship with Mr. Tony Stark is very familiar. Presumably Mr. Stark's ability to develop the cross-age armor that appears now is also related to this person. As for the final result is what, we will follow up the interview in real time. Looking at the exclusive logo belonging to the New York Times, Stark's face also became serious. It is obvious that he wants to find Baifeng through himself, and then obtain his powerful secrets. No, even my own mecha was counted by those people. I knew it was impossible to get my side, so I just released it, trying to suppress myself with the voice of the people. Little Pepper obviously thought of this too, and this is the one who hastily rushed to the door to notify. It's just that others don't know, but Stark knows that Bai Feng is not in his own world. If he really annoys him, he won't be as scrupulous as he is. If a great piece is directly brought to New York, it will really be called cool. Bai Feng seemed to see through Stark's worries. Don't worry, I'm not someone who kills indiscriminately. Stark breathed a sigh of relief, and then heard Bai Feng's voice again. By then, at best, the White House will be blown up. Stark's face suddenly became bitter again. Stark didn't care about the life and death of those politicians with their on their necks. What he cared about was the impact of these people's death. After all, he has transformed from to superhero. Iron Man, super brave. Suddenly, Jarvis' voice sounded in the room. Sir, the official people are already approaching this way. After investigation, there are 3 waves of people in total. Why is the speed so fast? Why are these people who usually waited for the incident to arrive at the scene so fast this time? Stark looked a little ugly. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came chapter 8. Jarvis, bring up the images of those waves of people. Okay, sir. The voice fell, and 4 pictures were displayed on the TV screen. The first one is a hot woman in tights and a man with a bald head. Old acquaintances, these 2 people are the current director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Black Braised Egg, and the agent, Black Widow. They have also had contact with Stark several times before, and they all wanted to recruit him into S.H.I.E.L.D., but failed. On the second screen, there are agents wearing the same costumes as Black Braised Eggs, and Stark and Bai Feng, who know the plot, naturally know that this is Hydra. The third one, General Ross and a few strong men, a group of brothers and nobles, this should be the official Orthodox personnel. The fourth is a group of reporters, who should represent ordinary people. Good guy, this is the representative of the strongest forces at this stage. But apart from these people, according to Bai Feng's perception, there are groups of soldiers gathered farther away. Judging from this, the purpose is still himself. And in the White House at the moment, the people who represent the top power in this society are basically concentrated here. There are presidents, generals, and the helm of the consortium without exception. The reason why they are gathered here is naturally the sudden appearance of Bai Feng. After scanning by satellite, and then querying in the large database, they were surprised to find that there is no such number 1 person on Earth. Because no one's face shape matches his. The president looked around at the people in the meeting room, and finally said, I think everyone knows the purpose of our gathering here, that is the person who suddenly appeared, and we codenamed him God. God. People who have seen Bai Feng's mighty power all nodded secretly. There is nothing wrong with being called a with that kind of power. Seeing no one to refute, the president continued, after calculation by our computer, the destructive power that God can cause can destroy an island in an instant. This power is comparable to nuclear weapons. As the president's words fell, there was an uproar at the scene. Nuclear weapons, what is that? It is the most powerful lethal weapon for mankind so far. It is also the crystallization of the highest wisdom of mankind. Whether a country is considered a powerful country depends first on whether it has nuclear weapons. But now, it is inconceivable that a single person has power comparable to that of a country. After all, in this period of time, aliens have not appeared frequently, and supernatural events are pitifully rare. From their cognition, this is naturally inconceivable. Otherwise, after a few years, they will feel that they have been ravaged countless times. Oh, that's it, this kind of pediatrics, it's too much water. Chapter 13 Two heads, one big. But it is a pity that they who have not been ravaged, their vision is naturally not so big. Someone below watched the president talk for so long, and asked aloud, then may I ask, Your Excellency, what are we going to do now? Good question. The president smiled. In our calculations, although the power possessed by God is powerful, it must follow the conservation of energy. After a large-scale energy release, he will reabsorb energy. To supplement ourselves, and this period of time is our chance to capture him, we named this operation, God-killing operation. Then what's the point of the personnel we send out? It wouldn't be better if I could persuade him with my mouth, although this hope is very slim. If the anatomy of his body is thoroughly studied, wouldn't we all be able to become gods? Ha ha ha, then let's celebrate the success of our plan in advance here. They never thought about failure, no matter how powerful Bifong was, they never thought that Bifong could rival a country. Stark may not have thought that he was worried here, but behind him was a group of pig teammates stabbing him in the back. What is this called? And those politicians would never have thought that their conversation would be heard by Bifong. Bifong squinted his eyes in amazement. As expected, the scenes in the movie were all real, and there would be a group of deadly fighters everywhere. Otherwise, I'll show them a hand tearing the moon. That seems like a good idea. Looking at the squinting Bifong, Stark couldn't help shivering, feeling that the temperature around him had dropped a lot. But I don't know if there is a life court in the movie version of the Marvel world, whether there is a group of gods, and whether there are transcendents. If the movie version also has these existences, TSK, will I be hunted down to the world of Naruto? What is this, hitting people along the network cable? In reality, I am submissive, and now I am submissive even on the internet. And as if sensing Bifang's thoughts, both the chat group and the system sent him a message at the same time, that is, don't be cowardly, just do it. Well, this is just Bifang's own understanding. The original intention from the two systems is that they are covering up, and it is impossible for the other party to find the coordinates of the Naruto world. Doesn't this mean that don't be afraid, your crystal has been taken away and hidden, so do whatever you want? Small system, why is it so devious, can't you be more direct? What, you said I can't beat those people, well, that's okay, after all, in terms of the expressiveness of those people, at least they are multi-level existences. After thinking for a long time, Bifong finally came to his senses. He was just playing to tear the moon with his hands, not the universe with his hands, and he couldn't attract the attention of those big bosses. Or, throwing a meteorite towards the White House for fun, a good idea, but you have to control the scope, otherwise it would be bad to destroy the entire beautiful country at once. Well, it was such a happy decision, Bifong immediately clapped his hands. Stark was taken aback by Bifang's sudden movement. Seeing the happy expression on the other side's face, Stark was a little confused. Boss, are you thinking of something happy? Oh, the wife of one of my colleagues is about to give birth. Stark complained secretly, I thought it was something, his wife is about to give birth and it's not yours. Hiss, wait, his wife is so happy to have you, could it be? I can't think about it, the boss is worthy of being a boss, he can play. Bifong looked at Stark's distorted face and stroked his chin, I always feel like you're thinking about something bad. Hee, how could it be, I didn't. Stark quickly denied that if he was found out, he would definitely be beaten to death. And Xiaojiao at the side couldn't help but feel a little anxious seeing the two of them still so leisurely. She is not stupid, so she naturally knows how to use those dirty politicians. A Stark and the others could still hold back their hands, but with the addition of Bifong, the benefits they gained would already make those people take risks. Her thoughts at this time were the same as those of those people. She didn't think that Bifong would be an opponent of a country. Although she didn't know Bifong, but Bifong was Stark's friend, so naturally she was also a friend. Ding dong, ding dong. At this moment, the sound of the doorbell being rang made the atmosphere in the room suddenly tense. Except for Bifong, the other two straightened up and came. Opening the door, Stark saw the familiar big bald head. He shrugged, we meet again, Mr. Braised Egg. The Black Widow who followed behind the stewed egg froze for a moment, then looked at her boss's head, and couldn't help but chuckle, this nickname is really vivid. Nick Fury's face darkened, looking at Bifong sitting indoors, and asked Stark, can I have a chat with the guy inside? He didn't know Bifang's name, so he could only say this, and knowing Bifang's power, his tone was naturally very respectful. That depends on his mood. I can't order him. Then he looked at Bifong, and Bifong nodded to him, indicating that it was okay. He took the Black Widow to the side of the sofa, his expression was a little cautious. Hello, I am. Bifong interrupted him, I know you, Director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury's complexion is a bit dark, but his face is already dark, and it can't be seen if it is darker. But he didn't dare to get angry, so he could only argue, I actually had hair before. Bifong nodded, well, I can understand, after all, it's easy to lose hair if you do that kind of thing, it's just that others only lose a little, and you lose it all. The black marinated egg was a little confused, huh? Bai Feng had no choice but to explain patiently, after all, with such a hot subordinate, he can see but not eat. However, although the left and right hands are good, you must also pay attention to restraint, as the hair is gone. Nick Fury didn't notice anything wrong, but felt that what the strong man said was weird, and suddenly the restraint in front was gone. Without the pressure, he suddenly remembered the business he had come here, and his face returned to seriousness. "Dear Your Excellency, I am here this time to invite you to join our shield." Shield, the organization that is full of moles except for a few. Bai Feng looked at this big bald head, and suddenly thought of another bald head in Marvel, the same bald head. Why the difference is so big? People started with Long Outyen, and you started with traitors. But Miss Widow's figure is really good, much better than it looks in the movie. It is indeed the dream of thousands of men in the past. It really makes people look at two heads, one big. Chapter 14 Long Live Hydra. But Nick Fury is not in such a good mood as Bai Feng, and he still has the leisure to appreciate the beauties, so he is a little angry at this moment. The Shield Bureau that I have worked hard for many years is actually full of traitors. How is this possible? Even if this person is powerful, he can't insult himself like this. Bai Feng withdrew his eyes from the widowed sister, saw the thoughts of the braised egg, and smiled. If you don't believe it, you can wait a moment, and you will understand when the time comes. Nick naturally didn't believe this. It's true that the person in front of him was very powerful, but he could also predict the future. Ding dong. However, not long after, the sudden ringing of the doorbell raised his mood, and an inexplicable throbbing suddenly appeared in his heart. Shaking his head, this should be someone from other forces. As the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., he still knows that there are many people looking for Bai Feng and Stark. Stark signaled Pepper to open the door, and as the door opened, the figure behind the door made his mood sink gradually. "Director Pierce, why are you here?" Pierce, the former director of S.H.I.E.L.D., would be very happy to meet this man Nick at other times, but only in this place. He is really not happy to meet the old man. Sure enough, Pierce's next actions also verified his inner premonition. He didn't look at Nick, but went straight to Bai Feng and Stark. "Mr. Stark, and this respected strong man, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Pierce, from Hydra." Regarding this, Bai Feng and Stark just hummed lightly, then looked at him with their eyes, as if asking, "And then what?" But Bai Feng and the others didn't respond, but Nick's heart had sunk to the bottom. Even the former director was a member of Hydra, so how many members of the entire S.H.I.E.L.D.? He rushed up angrily, grabbed Pierce by the collar, and gritted his teeth. "Pierce, you bastard, do you know what you're talking about?" However, facing his anger, Pierce stretched out his hand in a calm manner, lifted it under Nick's horrified eyes, and said mockingly, "You are too naive, our Mr. Nick. Do you think I would dare to come here without self-confidence? You must know that Hydra has sneaked into the dark and done a lot of research over the years. As a big boss, it goes without saying that he has gained benefits. You should be glad you are here, otherwise I will definitely crush you to death." After finishing speaking, he let go of his hand, and then turned around again. "Sorry, I made you laugh. I am here this time to invite you to join Hydra. Both of you have extraordinary power. Why don't you follow me? Together, we will take over the world." Upon hearing this, Stark shrugged. "Sorry, I refuse." As for Bai Feng, it is even more impossible to agree. Conquering the world, where is salted fish comfortable? There was no surprise on Pierce's face when he heard the refusal answer, because he had expected this scene a long time ago. As a strong man, he would definitely not be willing to be inferior to others, but he was certainly not unprepared to come to his door even though he knew he would be rejected. I saw him take out a gemstone from his bosom, which was crystal clear and extremely gorgeous. And Stark, who has seen the copy of his own plot, naturally knows what it is. His complexion changes, the soul gem. This thing can forcibly modify other people's will and thoughts. If it is touched by this thing, it will be dominated by the owner of the gem. But Bai Feng didn't change at all, not to mention whether this thing can break through the protection of the system and the chat group. Moreover, people like Pierce don't know how to truly use the power of the soul gem, they can only roughly stimulate it. However, if this thing is in the Lifan world, it must be an out-and-out artifact for the protagonist. Pierce raised the gemstone in his hand. I didn't want to use this method at first, but now. As he said that, the gem light exploded, reflecting the entire room. Ha ha ha. Seeing that everyone in the room was illuminated by the light of the soul gem, he shouted excitedly, "Long live the Hydra!" By phone. Stark. Pierce was stunned for a moment. It should be that the strength of these two people is relatively strong, so the control time is relatively long. Then, long live Hydra. By phone. Stark. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came Chapter 9. Long live Hydra. Very good, finally there is a reaction. Pierce breathed a sigh of relief, turned his head to look. It turned out that his two subordinates were shouting frantically. As for the others, none responded. At this time, he has already realized that Bai Feng is nothing more than a powerful person, and it is normal that it takes time to rewrite, but what about the others? At this moment, he still doesn't know that his soul gem has no effect on these people at all. Hateful. Pierce cursed secretly. Although he didn't know what happened, he understood that the plan had failed. Bang! Suddenly the door was violently opened from the outside and fell down. Pierce's eyes lit up. Opportunity. He ordered 2 of his men to rush towards Bai Feng, but he ran straight outside. Although I don't know who did me a big favor, but I, Pierce, thank you 18 generations of ancestors. His speed at this time has surpassed the limit of ordinary people. Even Black Widow and Nick just saw an afterimage flash past, and Pierce had already rushed to the door. Ross who just opened the door. The general was thinking about how to intimidate and lure Bai Feng inside, when suddenly he felt a gust of strong wind, and an elderly man passed him like a wind. General Ross was a little confused at the time. Is this an old man? But he reacted in a blink of an eye, and immediately ordered, "Stop him for me." Unfortunately, he only brought 20 people here this time to show his sincerity. These elite soldiers in the eyes of ordinary people did not last long under Pierce's men, even with the blessing of firearms. Looking at this scene, Bai Feng couldn't help sighing. This may be the legendary Nansun group of children who deceived me to be old and weak. Stark was used to Bai Feng's strange language from time to time, and asked curiously, "Boss, why don't we stop him, he's about to escape." Bai Feng looked at him, "What does running away have to do with me? But he tried to control you just now." "Oh, that's right." Bai Feng took out a soul gem from nowhere and weighed it in his hand, then let him come back. As he said that, inexplicable fluctuations came from the gemstone, and Pierce, who had already run a certain distance, was stunned for a moment, and ran back again. Chapter 15. So General Ross standing outside the door saw such a scene. The elderly man killed his subordinate, ran around outside and then ran back. "What are you doing, insulting me? Look down on me. Still, they are trying to show me off." General Ross glanced into the room, and saw that the old man who had killed his men just now stood respectfully in front of Bai Feng. He looked ugly. He didn't expect that there was only one person left before he spoke. It seems that this recruitment failed. Sure enough, he told the group of people that he would use force to solve it. Otherwise, these people who think they can act recklessly with a little power will not be so easy to surrender. I took a deep look at the people in the room, but found that there were still people from S.H.I.E.L.D., did even the people from S.H.I.E.L.D. Rebel, just happen to solve it together. Braised egg, I'm not, don't talk nonsense. He immediately picked up the communicator and sent a message to the other side. Pierce looked ugly, looking at everything in front of him. How could it be possible? Hadn't he already escaped? Why is he still in this room? Bai Feng just used the Mind Stone to rewrite his thoughts on the escape route, but did not rewrite his cognition. Compared with illusion, this kind of power acts directly on people, directly rewriting cognition, while illusion only constructs an illusion to deceive cognition. This is simply another without a CD. I will grab it when I leave later. I just don't know if taking this gem will attract the attention of those hidden bosses. On the other side, after receiving the information from General Ross, those politicians immediately issued an order to launch missiles towards the place where Bai Feng was. Although there are still many ordinary residents there, they can be blamed on Bai Feng afterwards. A person with great strength suddenly went berserk. In order to stop it, the officials had no choice but to reluctantly launch missiles to attack. With the launch of the missile, the soldiers assembled below all started to drive towards the villa where Baifeng and the others were located as if they had received an order. In the sky, fighter jets were circling non-stop, and above the ground were tanks, densely packed, like a torrent of steel. This scene was also sensed by Baifeng. He looked inexplicable, and smiled mysteriously at Stark next to him. "Stark. Give you a vaccination so that you won't be scared later." Stark was in a daze when suddenly, the alarm sounded. "Sir, 7 missiles suddenly appeared within the detection range, and the target location is here. Please move the location quickly." "What? Are they crazy? There are so many people here, do they want to kill everyone together? Fuck, son of a bitch." Stark didn't understand. How dare these people, this is not a small fight, and they can't cover it up. He knew that Baifeng was here, and this would not cause any harm, but this did not prevent him from being angry that these people took human life as a trifling matter. Baifeng stood up, his eyes seemed to penetrate the room, and he saw the fireworks from the sky. With a swish, Baifeng's figure disappeared in place, and reappeared, already in midair. The inside of the eye has also become a circle of ripples, which is the eye of reincarnation. Evil Ghost Way. Devour. As soon as the missile approached, it was completely swallowed up by Baifeng's ability. He smiled towards the sky, he knew that those so-called politicians must be watching here now. Suddenly, the divine light in his pupils flashed, he traveled through many spaces, and across a long distance, he saw the building in the distance, Heaven hinders Xinqing. With the sound of these words falling, in the distant outer space, a huge meteorite was suddenly changed its course and smashed straight towards the earth. And this scene was also clearly photographed by the satellite in space and transmitted to the aviation department below. The red warning light kept flashing, and the sound of the siren kept sounding. Before everyone could react, the meteorite had broken through the atmosphere and landed straight towards the building with a long tail flame. The politicians sitting in the conference room were still shocked by the sudden disappearance of the missile, and then panicked by the sudden landing of the meteorite. "Quick, quick, activate the anti-aircraft missile." Although panicked, this did not exceed the expectations of a group of people. After all, it is impossible to overestimate a strong man who can change the terrain out of thin air. After activating the air defense system, he gave another order immediately. "All the troops, move forward at the fastest speed." That person has used such 2 attacks successively. He must have consumed most of his energy. Now is a good opportunity to arrest him. After pulling a meteorite and smashing it towards the ground, Baifeng didn't sit still, and clasped his hands together. "Wood done. Flower Tree Realm is coming." Trees burst out of the ground with the sound of the voice, and became towering trees in a short period of time. If someone looked down from above at this time, they would find that the entire city had turned into a forest. But surprisingly, none of the ordinary residents were harmed. In the villa, Stark looked shocked as he watched the scenes transmitted by Jarvis. "I know you are so strong, but I didn't know you were so strong." Sure enough, a boss is a boss. Here Stark was amazed, and on the other side, the soldiers were terrified. Facing these trees, they couldn't use gunshots, guns, or even rockets. These things hit the trees that suddenly appeared, but there was not even a trace of scars. At this moment, the buds on the tree also slowly bloomed, and under the gaze of everyone, wisps of clear smoke emitted. It smells so good." Some people couldn't help sighing, but in the next second, they fell to the ground without breath. "No, it's poisonous, cover your mouth and nose." Someone shouted and wanted to remind others, but it was too late, and then, one after another, soldiers began to fall to the ground. Baifeng watched this scene with cold eyes. Maybe the people here obeyed the arrangement of their superiors, but he never considered himself a good person. At least, he won't let anyone who dares to attack him. All this looks very long, but in fact it only happened in a short period of time. After finishing all this, Baifeng looked up at the fighter above his head, opened his mouth and sprayed, "Fire escape, the art of dragon fire." A huge group of flames spewed out from his mouth, turning into countless fire dragons, roaring and charging into the sky one after another. Those pilots who were just shocked by the city that suddenly turned into a forest, before they recovered their senses, saw fire dragons attacking them head-on, and couldn't help but exclaimed. "Fuck, your mother's president. The devil, he is the devil. This must be the god sent by the heavens. Those actually sent us to deal with the gods." Curses continued to flow from their mouths, and under threat of death, they hated those who gave great orders. Now they just want to greet those people's families kindly, and put those people's heads back to the place where they were born. Chapter 16 The Moon, I Cracked. It's just a pity that even if they are unwilling and regretful in every way, the gap in strength like a natural moat lies in front of them and cannot be bridged. In the next second, countless brilliant sparks rose from the sky, and the fuselage with the driver inside was instantly reduced to ashes under the burning of the flames. In the whole city, countless people raised their heads, watching the fireworks that suddenly appeared in the sky, feeling extraordinarily beautiful at this moment. It's a pity that what they don't know is that every ball of fireworks is a fighter jet and a life. On the other side, in the conference room of the building, many people looked at the calm Bifong, and their expressions were no longer as comfortable as before. They were still dealing with meteorites just now, but the army assembled on the other side was not enough for others to fight with one hand. Someone trembled and said, "Are we still fighting?" "Fight, why not?" Someone asked back, "Don't you think that if you don't fight now, tell him that everything before is an accident, and we just send you a few missiles to celebrate, and he will stop?" TSK, life is endless and battles are endless. Since this is the case, I will also give you a big gift. Group reminder, group member by phone opened the group live broadcast. Zhang Chulan, the first to enter the boss. Rimuru, the first to enter the boss. Zhang Chulan, get out, I'm the first one, don't mess around, okay? Limulu, I jumped in front of you in the queue and entered the live broadcast room of the boss, what does it have to do with you? Zhang Chulan looked at the chat message, pondered this sentence carefully, and couldn't help but look furious. Doesn't this mean that I'll interfere with you? What are you doing with you, slime, bullying too much? Yakumo Z, stop, don't fight anymore. Spider, you can't kill people by beating like this. Spider is now lying comfortably in the old nest she has woven. Now she doesn't have to worry about food. With the help from the group members from time to time, life is much better than in the original book. And it has also evolved into a small poisonous spider monster. The next stage is the death side, which sounds majestic. She has already begun to imagine the scene of dominating the underground labyrinth and stepping on the spider mother. That scene was really a loving mother and a filial son. Daegu, well, my Fian, too crashed again. I heard from the doctor that it needs to be rebuilt so that it doesn't break so easily. Daegu felt so tired. Didn't this make it more difficult for him to transform? Transformation is already difficult, and he still has to catch bullets without leaving any traces. Now, alas. Baifeng's face darkened, you bastards, I'll start a live broadcast, where is your focus? Those people sitting in the conference room were just arguing whether they should continue calling, but suddenly seeing Baifeng's gloomy face, their hearts sank. The president gritted his teeth, come on, put on the nuclear bomb. He doesn't care so much now. Well, this person just made a meteorite when his expression was calm, and now he looks like he is going to smash the earth with his hands. It must take a lot of energy for you to be able to stop the nuclear bomb. You can take advantage of it. If you can't stop it, it's okay. Let's cool off together. I, the president, are super brave. Naruto has been signed in for 3 years, and the chat group only came chapter 10. At this time, a group of demons danced wildly in the group live broadcast. Zhang Chulan, damn it, boss, someone gave you a reward for the rockets, so why don't you show them a show, thank you. Baifeng sensed it for a while, and was a little speechless, God Rocket, you really look good. But immediately his face was frozen, nuclear bomb, he had only heard of it before, and he didn't know how powerful it was. At this moment, Stark also came out wearing his steel battle suit. He came to Baifeng, looked at the slowly rising object in the distance, and looked worried, boss, can it be done? If not, we can run away. Even though he knew that Baifeng was the last hope to resist the nuclear bomb, he didn't have to ask Baifeng to resist, but asked if it was okay first. Although I don't know how powerful it is, but it's a small thing. This is not bragging. After all, this thing can destroy a city or a small country at most, but he can explode into stars. As the conversation between the two fell, Bai Feng's eyes became sharper, and an inexplicable fluctuation spread. As the fluctuation spread, the clothes on the surface turned white, and it would be automatic without wind. 9 Dao-seeking jade surrounded her back, and her black hair turned white. In the blink of an eye, she had already transformed into the six-path pattern. At this moment, he is like a god, aloof, and more majestic than the easygoing appearance just now. Stark was very shocked at this time. He couldn't feel anything, his eyes were telling him that the white wind was in front of him, but in the feeling, there was nothing in front of him. This means that they are no longer in the same dimension. The live broadcast room fell into a sudden silence, no one spoke, even the two most evasive chat groups, the two pests. At this moment, Bai Feng said, "How about it, handsome or not, slipping or not?" After the voice fell, the quiet live broadcast room suddenly boiled. Zhang Chulan, damn it's so cool, boss, I'm your man tonight. Limulu, you are very sad, I can't do it, but I am very relieved, already wet, don't disturb. Yakumo Z, you are so handsome, Mr. Hakakazi. Daegu, he looks much more handsome than our idols here. Spider, I want to report Limulu for secretly making up lessons. Only the spider noticed what Limulu said, obviously everyone is a time traveler, why do you seem to be so much better than me? The eight-legged little spider has already decided to find someone to make up the lessons, so it doesn't matter. I want to make up lessons. Roll. Good. The spider came back from his heart and concentrated on watching the live broadcast. There is no such thing as a live broadcast for making up lessons. But the boss is so handsome, when I become a human, I will go offline, thinking of this, I can't help showing a slutty smile. In the picture, Bai Feng looked at the gradually rising mirror, stretched out his hand and waved, and the boundless gravitational force was released, which changed the direction of the flight, and flew straight towards space. At this time, the seeking jade behind Bai Feng spun and connected together, turning into a golden light. Bai Feng reached out to hold it, looked at the distance, and nodded. This distance will not have any impact on the ground. Immediately grasping the golden light, he swiped towards the sky, the golden will reincarnates and explodes. In an instant, the golden light extended infinitely enlarged, passed through the atmosphere, and passed through the starry sky. On the earth, as long as people who are not blind can see this golden light, the divine majesty is resplendent, just like the might of heaven. There were even superstitious people who knelt down on the spot, dropped their bodies to the ground, and called out the gods to manifest themselves. In the eyes of countless people, the golden light crossed the mirror and the moon. Under the horrified eyes of countless people, the moon split from the middle and turned into two halves. The president looked at this scene with dull eyes, and he sat slumped on the ground. I was cracked, why didn't you say it earlier when you were so hung up? Moon, what the is really cracking me up? Chapter 17. On the other side, Asgard, Odin, who was resting, was startled suddenly, and when he opened his eyes, he felt a powerful wave of energy. This energy is no longer weaker than him, and this energy is very special, very strange, something he has never felt before. After pondering for a while, it seems that souls should go to the earth in advance. Above the earth, Stark looked at the moon that had turned into two halves, and couldn't help but exclaim in his mouth, "Boss, yo, I just realized how unfathomable the boss is today." Bai Feng is speechless. Why is it so normal when you say it out of your mouth, it immediately becomes unserious, there is something wrong with you. Zhang Chulan, something that doesn't know the depth. Rimuru, I don't know my shortness, but I still try to measure the depth of the boss. As the two major pests of the chat group, they immediately grasped the main point and made trouble. Live broadcast reminder, Zhang Chulan and Li Molu have been silenced by the homeowner Bai Feng, and warned everyone that the driving is not standardized, and the relatives will cry. Xiao Mian, I can't cure you in the chat group, can't I cure you in my live broadcast room? Bai Feng looked at the two people who were silenced, and smiled disdainfully, do you understand what is class hierarchy? Taking out the mind gem in his hand and weighing it, Bai Feng looked at Stark. I have used the mind gem to modify the will of those politicians just now. They know what happened, but starting tomorrow, they will commit suicide one after another. Affect the city. As he spoke, he looked at the forest on the ground, and with a thought, those trees retracted into the ground and disappeared. Although the ground was broken a bit, it was all right, people were still there. What, you asked why you didn't use the mind gem to solve the problem from the beginning? Bai Feng smiled and said nothing. Then how can I pretend to be forceful? Besides, I don't have that kind of good temper. When someone kills me, I naturally want to vent it. Okay, since the task has been completed, I'll go back first. Bai Feng waved at Stark. Stark was a little surprised. Going back so soon? I still want to do my landlord's friendship. Bai Feng shook his head, because he already felt through the system that a will was awakening in the dark and started to lock his position, but he didn't know which old Een coin it was. If you don't leave again, what if someone slaps you to death? You can't afford to be provoked, so slip away. In the next second, he had disappeared in place, and Stark knew that Bai Feng had gone back, because he had already appeared in a wooden house in Bai Feng's live broadcast. Okay, that's the end of today's live broadcast, you guys. After the voice fell, the live broadcast room had disappeared, which made a group of people sigh in the group. How fast, this speed. After turning off the live broadcast, Bai Feng took out a gem from his bosom. Yes, it was the soul gem. It's just that at this time, there was no joy on his face, but he was frowning, because he didn't notice the existence of any special energy from this gemstone at all. Are the 6 gems only useful in the Marvel world? Does that mean that even if you take the gems out of the Marvel world will regenerate one? It was really confusing. Putting down the gem, Bai Feng looked at the timer he had placed on the table, and found that only a few hours had passed. It's okay, not long has passed, otherwise it will take a lot of effort to explain. Next time you go to other worlds, you can't be so hasty, at least you have to leave a wooden clone. Suddenly, Bai Feng's eyes narrowed, and he said indifferently, why, are the people in Genbu so arrogant now, breaking into other people's rooms in the middle of the night? Swish swish swish. Just after he finished speaking, 4 masked ninjas suddenly appeared in the room, but Bai Feng knew clearly that these people were not from Umbu, but Genbu. Don't have to think about why the root people are here, it must be because of the day's events, that's already an obvious draw. The strength he showed was about the same as Kakashi's, which was the average level of high-end combat power of a ninja village, not very strong, but not weak either. Danzo has been coveting the position of Hokage, and wants to let the 3rd generation step down and ascend to that position by himself. Then he will definitely not watch the power of the 3rd generation expand, and his own joining is not a small force. And these people must have been ordered by Danzo to bring themselves to the root and become Danzo's subordinates. Sure enough, in the next second, one of the 4 spoke up, Jounin Hakakazi, Danzo-sama, please go to the root to explain. Really? Bai Feng couldn't deny it. You guys don't mean to invite me at all. Looking at the few people who were encircling indistinctly, it was obvious that this was already a naked threat. Are you not going? Okay, then I'll knock you out and take you away. However, does Danzo dare to be so arrogant now? Even if I have only 1 Kakashi strong, I can't beat the 4 of you, but I can make some noise to attract people. Isn't he afraid of being discovered? After careful perception, oh, enchantment, it's all right, no wonder you dare to be so arrogant. Seeing that Bai Feng didn't even move, these roots emphasized again, Hunin Bai Feng, please come with us. But after finishing speaking this time, the chakra in the body has already started to work, ready to strike violently at any time. Interesting, I really regard myself as a soft persimmon that can be kneaded at will. You guys are besieging me, what if I say no? As soon as the words fell, the 4 of them had already made a bold move. They did not use large-scale lethal ninjutsu. Once they made a move, they used all kinds of secret techniques. Shadow imitation. Secret technique. Insect jade. Bagua 128 palms. The art of turning the heart around. All of these people are members of Konoha's major families. They have already reached the level of Chunin from the big families. Coupled with Danzo's follow-up training, it's no wonder they are so confident. It's just a pity that such 4 people are a good force no matter where they are, but they met themselves. Monthly reading. Just when the 4 raised their heads confidently, they saw a pair of eyes with a hexagram pattern. What is this? You are too weak, not even qualified to dance. A few minutes later, the 4 of them carried a sack on their backs, shuttled through the darkness, and headed towards the route headquarters. Baifeng watched this scene through tensei eyes, with deep eyes. Danzo, I hope you like the gift I gave you. A group of people came to the entrance of an enchantment, and after some operations, the 4 of them entered the real route. All the way was unimpeded, and after a while, they came to a dark place, where a man was sitting with his whole body with straps. Danzo-sama, fortunately, he did not disgrace his life. The man with the sack stepped forward and knelt on one knee. Chapter 18. Too many points. Danzo looked at the sacks carried by his subordinates and doubted him. Untie him. The man untied the sack, and what appeared in front of Danzo was another sack. Danzo stared at him, and he stared at Danzo. Suddenly, Danzo watched as the subordinate in front of him grabbed the sack, and in his bewildered eyes, slowly lifted into the air. How many floors can you carry a bag of rice? A bag of rice can be carried on the 2nd floor. A bag of rice washes so much mud. There is mud in every grain. Danzo already felt that something was wrong at this time, his pupils constricted, and he wanted to escape. However, at this time, the other 3 people also moved, and the 2 came to Danzo's side with a blink of an eye, and hugged him tightly. The remaining 1 patted the ground with both hands, shadow imitation technique. Seeing that Danzo couldn't move, he showed his white teeth. Master Danzo, I hope you like the gift I gave you. Also, art is pai daxing, drink. As his voice fell, the people in midair just said, spicy tea onsen. As the voice fell, an invisible wave emanated from the body of the man in the sky. This was a one-time Shenluotian sign set by Baifeng in his body, and he would die when he used it up.